Baseball Rams pregame show starts now.
Welcome into a sun-splashed Tom Hiles Field on the campus of Edwardsville High School as today the Vernon Rams head to the Metro East area to take on the Edwardsville Tigers in a non-conference game. A very pleasant Wednesday afternoon to each and every one of you listening in on AM 940 WMIX or online at WMIXsports.com. I'm Denny Czerwinski. We'll be bringing you the play-by-play today. Chris Hugo is away on assignment. The Rams are currently taking infield as we begin the Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Landers Collision Centers didn't just expand in Mount Vernon, they expanded their service. After your next collision, ask about free detailing as long as you own your car. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888-LANDERS. As the Rams take infield at Edwardsville has already taken their infield here this afternoon, so as soon as Mount Vernon is done, it'll be time to go here with a 4:30 start. This game will probably start close to being on time. A non-conference affair between these two schools. If you're driving up here to Edwardsville, located right across from Edwardsville High School, an outstanding sports facility located just to the south, I believe, of Edwardsville High School. You can see in the foreground as you sit here in the bleachers. I'm in the press box. To the right, you have a JV baseball field, the turf infield. You have the football field, which is turf. You have a couple of softball fields as well. What an outstanding sports complex. They've done it right up there at Edwardsville when they built this new school and facility. As the Rams take their infield, they come into the game with a record of 24-7-1, champions of the South 7 Conference and the number one seed in the Heron Regional. Edwardsville is 25-8. 10-4 overall, finished third in the always very tough Southwestern Conference, which includes the likes, of course, O'Fallon, Alton, Belleville East and West, and other schools. We need to take a break here in the Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, they fix them all. And now detailing is there as well. It's available at Landers Collision Centers. Call anytime you need them, 1-888-8-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS. They sponsor the pregame show. Let's take a break. Come back. We'll have the starting lineup sponsored by Central Christian Church and the opening pitch. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
I'm Andy Robb with a look at your next rad weather this afternoon. Very warm with sunshine and a shower or thunderstorm around, high 86. Mostly cloudy for tonight, low 62. Variable clouds tomorrow with a shower or thunderstorm around, high 80. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, low 58. Friday, a shower or thunderstorm around with the high on Friday, 82. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
The Motor City reclaims its name with the 2013 Chrysler 200. Hi, Roy Schmidt Chrysler dealer at King City Chrysler Center, Mount Vernon. The Chrysler 200 has a great classy design. The lines and curves create a precise chisel profile. LED tail lamps eliminate attention to detail, and each Chrysler 200 wheel choice adds a different finishing touch to the vehicle's overall design. Right now, we are offering our own finishing touch with great incentives. Choose $3,000 in customer cash or choose 0% financing for 72 months. Wow! We have over 30 Chrysler 200s in stock, all having been awarded the IIHS Top Safety Pick. Browse our entire inventory at KingCityChrysler.com or come see one of our associates at King City Chrysler Center, 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, and don't forget to find us on Facebook.
America is a nation on wheels. Everyone has at least one automobile. We use them for shopping, work, everything we do. But they can be a threat. Some accidents can't be prevented. Your professional Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, can help protect you from a large financial loss when an accident happens. Call Page Insurance today at 242-7000 about low-cost auto insurance from Pekin Insurance. Ask them about the many money-saving discounts that are available. Depend on your hometown professionals.
Pekin Insurance.
Back to the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Back to Edwardsville, Illinois, on the campus of Edwardsville High School. The Mount Vernon Rams finishing up their round of infield here as they take on the Edwardsville Tigers. Here is the Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Landers Collision Centers can fix that small fender bender, a major collision of any size vehicle, and now they can detail it too. Big or small, Landers fixes and details them all. 1-888-LANDERS. Mount Vernon finishes up their round of infield. As I said, comes into the game with a record of 24-7-1. Edwardsville 25-8 and 10-4 in the Southwestern Conference. As the Rams finish up, we'll go through the Central Christian Church starting lineup. Incredible things are happening at Central Christian Church in Mount Vernon. Look no further thenewcentral.com. Watch their Friday night and Sunday services online. It's thenewcentral.com, Central Christian Church, loving God and loving people. First for the home Edwardsville Tigers. If you are a betting man today, bet on orange and black to win this game. Both teams obviously orange and black, so bet on that. Blake Graham will lead off in center field, followed by Jordan Heckler at short and Drew Curtis at first base. Alec Pizzini will catch and bat fourth. Alex Myers is the DH, followed by Jacob Fisher at second base. Batting seventh and right will be Austin Werner. Batting seventh and left, Jake Garella. And batting eighth, Jordan Hovey at third base with Zach Sparks starting on the hill for the Edwardsville Tigers, coached by Tim Funkhauser, who already, very young in his career, has 500 career wins here at Edwardsville. For Mount Vernon, Jake Pike will lead off playing right field. Batting second, center fielder Landon Thomas. Batting third and catching, Colin Young. Batting fourth at first, Colten Meador. Batting fifth at short, Trevor Floda. Batting sixth at short is Matthew Williams, as Trevor Floda is the second baseman. Batting seventh and left is Clayton Reeves. Batting eighth at third base, Sawyer Harrison. And batting ninth, a designated hitter, Hayden Taninsky, for Tim Holloway's Mount Vernon Rams. Those starting lineups brought to you by Central Christian Church. Look no further than thenewcentral.com. Friday night and Sunday services are online at thenewcentral.com. Central Christian Church, loving God and loving people, and they sponsor the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. These two teams are both number one seeds in their respective regionals. Mount Vernon and Heron, Edwardsville here at Edwardsville, Class 4A style next week, as this is the last week of the regular season for both teams. The Rams will play today. Their next games will be Saturday at home, the last two games of the regular season, final home games on the regular season schedule. They will host the Highland Bulldogs. Doubleheader starts at 11 a.m. You can listen to those two games on AM 940 and WMIXsports.com on Saturday afternoon. Next Wednesday, the Rams will open up play in the Heron Regional at 4:30. Of course, we'll be there for that. And then if they would win that, they would play a week from Saturday at 11 a.m. in the Heron Regional title game. Our next broadcast after today, weather permitting, will be Friday afternoon at Salem, as the Mount Vernon Lady Rams softball team will play at Salem. Pre-game at 4:15, first pitch at 4:30. We'll also have the first game of the Mount Vernon Lady Rams Regional at Heron next Tuesday at 4:30 as they open up regional play in softball. You can always find our broadcast schedule at WMIXsports.com. Here in Edwardsville, a beautiful day, as I said, here on the campus of Edwardsville High School, the newer school across the way, as you see across the road across the other side. And then you come to the right, and you turn into the Edwardsville High School sports facility. Here is a baseball field, of course, that we are at. Across the way is a JV field. They have a turf infield, grass outfield. And then to our direct right is the football field, which also goes as a soccer field, which also goes as a track, as Edwardsville has a turf field there as well. There are also a couple of softball fields here on this sports complex. I'm sure tennis courts somewhere around here as well. There is actually a wrestling building across the way that they use for wrestling events. A fantastic facility here at Edwardsville High School, and of course next week it will host a baseball regional here as well. There will be scores coming in from around Southern Illinois. Of course, Class 1A and 2A are starting to set up regional championship matchups. There are several semifinal games in both baseball and softball in Southern Illinois. We'll be keeping track of those, and any scores that do come through will be brought to you by Tony Wilt. Tony Wilt's glad to help your family with all your insurance needs. Give his office a call. Find him on the web at TonyWilt.com or look for the white State Farm Jeep around town. The Edwardsville Tigers, coached by Tim Funkhauser, he just passed the 500 career win mark. His lineage, he played on the 1990 Class 2A state championship team here at Edwardsville. In fact, they were back-to-back, went first and second, had 65 games winning streak in a row. Then in 98, their state championship team was ranked number one in everything, whether it was Metro East, State of Illinois, Country, Nation, Midwest, whatever. They were number one. That was the year, if people remember, that particular Legion team made it to Vegas. I think actually won the out in Las Vegas when the national tournament of Legion was out there. That's part of the baseball lineage when you walk up here. Tom Pyle Field, a guy who was very successful. One of the names that will ring out some of our Washington County friends, Dave Beat, played on the 1982 state tournament team that made it to Springfield in Class 2A. That team made it up to Springfield, beating Alton, Roxanne, and Civic in the regional, then beat Collinsville and Murphy in the sectional, and in Elk Grove they won at state, of course. So sectional, of course, if you won the sectional at that time, you advanced to Springfield. Edwardsville's taking the field. We need to take another break for the national anthem. When we come back to first pitch, you're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins. You did it. It's graduation day, and you've got that feeling beyond compare. From kindergarten to graduation, your day-to-day efforts have been your first long-term investment. Community First Bank extends congratulations along with a promise. In the coming year, we will increase our community scholarship dollars to encourage graduation goals across Jefferson County and further invest in our community. Like us on Facebook to learn more. Community First Bank, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
It's a national icon, the 2013 Chevy Silverado. It's the hardest working, longest lasting truck on the market, and Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon has the best selection of Silverados in the area. Right now, you can get rebates up to $7,000, plus a 2-year, 24,000-mile maintenance plan on the Silverado. Nobody will beat the deal you'll get at Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
You're listening to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
Welcome back to Edwardsville High School. The national anthem played here before the start of this game. The Tigers take the field, or announced to the fans here, and then they do the national anthem. Denny Czerwinski here in Edwardsville for the play-by-play. Chris Hugo away on assignment. Avery Barton is back in the studio. He is pushing the buttons, getting me on and off the air accurately and correctly as he does. We'll tell you about Community First Bank, our title sponsor today. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank's at home in Dixon and Woodlawn and Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, the Rams will be in their gray trunks, pants with black tops, Edwardsville in white pants, orange tops, and a E on the hat with much of the same setup as the Baltimore Orioles baseball lore in the MLB. The Tigers, as I said, come in with a record of 25-8. They are 8-4 against common opponents that the Mount Vernon Rams have already played. They have beaten Highland twice already this year, and that's who the Rams will play on Saturday. They have wins against Mount Zion and, of course, Altos, Centralia, and then Belleville West, Alton twice, and East Peoria and Civic Memorial. They have lost to Belleville West, Belleville East, Waterloo, and Belleville East once again. The 8-4 record against teams common to Mount Vernon. The Tigers come in with an 8-game winning streak. Their last losses were to O'Fallon 8-1 on April 30th and Belleville East on May 2nd. So they're looking on an 8-game winning streak to keep things rolling in the postseason and go in their Class 4A way. Of course, playing in 4A, you're playing basically a Southwestern Conference tournament and then getting to the sectional, your first-round games against another team of that nature, and then you go from there. Leading off for the Rams, as usual, is Jake Pike. Jake Pike comes into the ball game with a batting average of .354 on the year. He has 34 hits on the season, 26 RBIs driven in. First pitch today comes at 4:31, and Jake Pike slaps a bunt down the first third base line, and it goes foul. And that's how this game gets underway. And Jake Pike steps back in, the left-hander. The Mount Vernon Baseball Bank was held last night by the Rams Baseball Booster Club. What a wonderful evening. Thank you to them very much for inviting us, Chris Hugo and I, to the match. To the banquet as Jake Pike has lined one in the left field. That one will get almost to the warning track. Cut off on a nice play by the center fielder Graham to get it back in and hold Jake Pike to a leadoff single. But the Rams have opened the game with a single by Jake Pike, and that'll bring in Landon Thomas. The senior comes in today with a batting average of .343. He was named Ram of the Year last night at the Booster Club Award ceremony held by the Rams Booster Club, the baseball Booster Club, that is. Sparks on the hill for Edwardsville out of the stretch for the first time today. Pike feigns going. Thomas grounds to third, picked up by the third baseman, and throws it away in the right field on the error. Pike will go. Nope, he turns around. He will stay at first base. So on the fielder's choice, That will turn into no error, actually. It's just a fielder's choice. So it'll be first and second and nobody out, and that'll bring in Colin Young as the Rams have a little something going on here as we begin this ball game. Mr. Sparks, who is on the hill for the Tigers quickly, as fast as the commuter can go, a right-handed thrower with the stirrups up, lock solid socks. Mr. Sparks comes in with a record of 6-2. He has an ERA of .99. And that curveball's outside, ball one to Colin Young. Young comes into the matchup. He received the prestigious Brendan Klein Scholarship last night at the Booster Club banquet. Young batting .325 on the year, has 26 hits and 113 plate appearances. First and second, nobody out here as we begin the first. Young's looking to bunt. Bunch is on the way, double steal in effect, and the Rams have stolen 2 bases. Strike was called, but a double steal, and the Mount Vernon Rams have first or second and third, and nobody out. Colin Young at the plate with an opportunity to get something done with Colten Meador on deck. 1-1 to count to Young. Runners at second and third, nobody out here in Edwardsville. Wind blowing straight out as Sparks will step off. Wind blowing straight out here, center field, 375, down the line's 320, and the gap's 355. Even with the wind blowing out today, much spacious kind of confines as Brendan Klein Field, he'll take a poke to get it out of here today. Sparks out of the stretch, an ERA under 1. Fakes, got Thomas. Oh, man, Landon Thomas was off there on second base, had a big secondary lead, and had Sparks thrown it and the second baseman been there, Thomas was dead to right. He gets back in. Nowhere to go there on that steal attempt with Pike standing at third. No reason for the big lead. Count still 1-1 as Sparks will look in. Sparks will bring it home. Curveball, and Young swings and fouls it back over the right side, out of play. I'll pick the Rend Lake College player of the game. At Rend Lake College, you can get a quality education in state thousands. Log on to rlc.edu to see which program is right for you. Back in again, 1-2 to count now to Young. Sparks and Young with runners at second and third, nobody out. Infield regular positions. Early in this ball game, Edwardsville concede the run for the out in this situation. Pitch on the way, curveball outside, 2-2. About an 85-degree day here in the Metro East. Feels like summer. Wind blowing straight out to center field here at Tom File Field. Warm day, great day for baseball to be playing out here. Sparks out of the stretch looking for a sign. Lead's taken by Pike at third, Thomas at second. Sparks will look them both back, now bring it home. Pitch low, count goes full. And Mount Vernon off a 2-game losing streak right now after lost Belleville West on Monday. And also including, besides the Belleville West loss, the loss at Mater Dei on Friday. So the Rams on their first 2-game losing streak since back in March on back-to-back losses to Triad and Waterloo. Sparks out of the stretch on the full count pitch. Swing and a ground ball toward the hole. It's short. That will score a run, and the throw at first is in time, but Colin Young has driven in Jake Pike, and on the 6-3 ground out the RBI to Young, and it's a 1-0 Mount Vernon lead. Landon Thomas with the ball in front of him had to stay at second base on a good base running decision. That'll bring in Colten Meador, who last night at the banquet was named the Offensive Player of the Year, comes in with a record of .375, currently leads the team in that average. Has already this season 39 hits, 28 driven in, also leads the team in RBI. Thomas strays, and Sparks will looking back. The second baseman cuts in. Everybody used that pickoff play from Mount Vernon, trying to see that. Sparks will come out of the stretch with the under 1 ERA right now, giving up over his ERA average. Thomas takes a nice lead at second. Bigger now. Pitch on the way to Colten Meador is in there for a strike one called. Edwardsville finished third in the Southwestern Conference, unless things change, behind Belleville East and O'Fallon, as they battle in that very tough conference in all sports. Sparks out of the stretch, eyeballs Thomas, faked a throw run to third, did not go. Curveball outside, and Sparks seems to be a little rattled out there on the mound as he starts. Has a strike two. Interesting. I'll have to wait till the umpire gets that right hand out there. Called it a little quick that time. Got the video guy from Edwardsville High School here. He's going to keep me in check. He's on his game. He's got video set up and everything. So you know it's important when you have video out. 0-2 count to Meador with Thomas at second and one out. Pitch on the way. Oh, wait. That's a ball outside. 1-2 on the St. curveball. Once again, Rams play Saturday at home against Highland, finishing it up. Here, after we get done with Colten Meador's at-bat, we'll get some score updates as those scores are starting to roll in from around Southern Illinois here at the WMIX Mobile Studio, sponsored by Ford Square, 1501 South Broadway. Pitch inside. The Meador count goes to 2-2. Wayne City leads Odin at the end of 1-3-0 in softball. Of course, that's at the Woodlawn Regional. Winner gets Woodlawn. Carbondale scores first in the first half, leads Mount Vernon in soccer 1-0 in a regional contest in 2A at Marion. Scoreboard update brought to you by Tony Wilton State Farm Insurance. 1-2 pitch on the way. Meador swings and pops it in the right field, deep right field. In fact, when carry, outfielders dive and hit each other side to side, head to head in the outfield. Ball's laying on the track in right field. The left fielder's going to have to run over and make the catch. Two outfielders are down. Meador will come in and score, and it is what will turn out to be an inside-the-park home run for Colten Meador. And it's 3-0 Mount Vernon, but all concern is now out to the warning track in right center field. Two of the Tigers going together, Graham and Warner, dove for the ball headlong and ran into each other. They are still down on the track as the ball rolled to the warning track out there, and the left fielder had to come all the way over to pick up the baseball, and our thoughts are with Graham and Warner out there in center and right fielders. They are still down on the play. 3-0 Mount Vernon here in the first inning with one out. And right now, both outfielders are down. The trainer is out, as is head coach Tim Funkhauser. All eyes are turned to the outfield here, as that was a collision. Two guys going for the baseball dove headlong into each other. Clunked heads, maybe hit shoulder to head, maybe hit body to head, something out there. And it was not good. There's an outfielder down from Edwardsville, lying on his back. He is moving. But it was a vicious hit as those two players were going hard out, long out for the baseball. Neither one probably called each other off, ran into each other. One outfielder, the center fielder, I believe, is sitting up. The right fielder is now sitting up. And they're shaking some cobwebs out there, I'm sure. We hope both young men are okay because that was a pure hustle play in that case. As the outfielders have went to check on them. A couple of infielders as well, the head coach and the trainer out there checking on things. As this delay will take a bit to kind of get those guys settled up and going from there. While they get going there and check on those outfielders, we'll tell you about All-Stars and Stitches. If you could put a logo on it, All-Stars and Stitches can probably print it. See Big Dave at All-Stars and Stitches just west of Benton High School, or call 435-5555. Sarah Staley reminds you, tomorrow, maybe even today, is the day that anything could happen. Are you ready? When you meet with Sarah Staley at Country Financial in Mount Vernon, you get a one-on-one relationship and a plan that meets your goals. Country Financial, what's your idea of financial security? Here in the top of the first inning, Mount Vernon leads 3-0. Here at Edwardsville, an inside-the-park home run by Colten Meador has made the score 3-0 as the Rams have jumped on the Tigers here. The concern is to right field, right center field, as the right fielder and center fielder for Edwardsville ran into each other and are still being checked upon out there on the right field warning track. While they check each other out and the trainer is checking on both outfielders, let's take a break and come back and see how things are from there. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
It happens every spring. You need a great quality new-to-you vehicle. There's a reason why Second Chance Auto has been helping put families into affordable, dependable vehicles for over 32 years. Honest, fair deals. Ain't nothing fancy, just great vehicles with warranties. Honest deals and bank rate financing for all. That's the only way Second Chance Auto will do business. And you don't even have to leave your home to get credit approval. Call Second Chance Auto at 244-4582 and get pre-approved right over the phone. They know bad things can happen to good people. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon.
Your future is calling. With a GED test and some help from Rend Lake College, you can answer the call. The current test expires at the end of 2013, and your scores will expire too if you don't finish and pass the test by then. Don't feel prepared? Don't worry, we can help. Visit finishtheged.com to learn more. Don't miss the chance to turn one small step into your next big opportunity, like college, a better job, and the respect you deserve. Finish your GED by the end of 2013. Questions? Call Rend Lake College's Adult Education and Literacy Department today at 437-5321.
Back to Rams baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
Top of the first inning at Edwardsville, the Rams lead 3-0. We're in a bit of a delay here as the center fielder and right fielder who collided with each other going for the Colten Meador fly ball are still being attended to in right center field. The Rams, Jake Pike led off with a single, and then Landon Thomas reached on the fielder's choice, and both of them stole a base. Second and third, nobody out. Colin Young drove in the first run with an RBI to make it 1-0. Colten Meador hit a fly ball to right center field. The center fielder and right fielder ran into each other, diving headlong for the baseball. The ball dropped and rolled to the warning track. The left fielder had to come over and pick it up. By the time he got to it, Colten Meador had rounded the bases. And the Mount Vernon Rams, as Colten Meador has a 2-run inside the park home run to make it 3-0. Now, the first baseman's coming in, the joint infielder crew. Pitcher, the catcher, and a couple middle infielders, probably the short and third. The outfielders being attended to. We'll see who stays in the game or who does not for Edwardsville. Warner is going to come out, as Warner was the one that took the worst of the hit in right field, I believe. Yeah, and he might be bleeding, have to come and check things out. As we look around, there's going to be maybe some substitutions here. Let's see what happens. 23 is going to come into the ball game. Oh, let's see here. We'll get caught up here. Okay, so let's get the lineup here swapped. So 23 for Edwardsville is going to come in the ball game. There is no 23. There is no 23. There has been a change in the outfield. It snuck one in on me. Okay, Zalanko is in the game. First name? Matthew Zalanko. Okay. Okay, Zalanko is going to go in the center. So he'll take over for Graham, right? Okay. Matt Zalanko is going to go in the center, so he will bat. So we'll race him. He's number 23. He will lead off the inning now. And then in right field, Werner goes out. Let's see who's in right field. 18 is in right field. Tyler Worthy. See, there's no 18. That's why I'm lost. Okay, Worthy goes in the right field. So in right field now, it will not be Werner. It'll be Tyler Worthy. There we go. We're caught up. So before people can even bat, they don't even get the bat. So substitutions already. Zalanko will go in the center. Worthy will go in the right. They will take over for the injured. As we move along here, in at the top of the first, that'll bring in Trevor Flo to the second baseman. Curveball. High, ball one. We are ready to go, finally. We're glad to see the two young men walk off the field. Trevor Flo is batting .318 on the year. 28 hits so far this year, driven in 14. That pitch on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. Last night, we have to help and say thank you to the Mount Vernon Ram Baseball Booster Club for the gifts that Mr. Hugo and I received last night. The bag of food and drink will be put to use over the next few weeks. Pitch on the way. outside. Ball 2-2-1. That bag of food and drink will be used, I'm sure, at the doubleheader Saturday, Friday on the road with softball, and, of course, next week, and hopefully a lot more games after that in the postseason. Count is 2-1 to Trevor Flota. He'll step out. Sparks will have to toe the rubber once again. Outfield, left and right straightaway. Center is going to go to the left center side of the outfield. Strike 2 comes in to Flota outside. This fence, for those of you who've been to Lanphier Park in Springfield, a wooden fence, maybe not as tall as the one at Lanphier Park in Springfield, wooden variety, green background all the way around. The yellow tubing on top separate the home run balls. Pitch on the way, swinging a late ground ball to second. Fisher will move to his left, scoop and fire to first for the out. That's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring in Matthew Williams, the shortstop. Williams comes into the game with an average of .358. He's got 34 hits on the year. Has driven in 13 with 3 doubles. Batting in the sixth hole, Tyler Ellis getting a start today. It's been a while since he came out of the bullpen all warmed up with everything. This game started at 4:31. Williams swings and chops it to third. Hovey will fire, and that will end the inning on the 5-3 putout, but not before the Mount Vernon Rams get 3 runs on 2 hits. Strand none after the top of the first. Mount Vernon 3, Edwardsville coming in the bat. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
I always thought I knew the reasons why we chose the Medicine Shop here in Mount Vernon as our pharmacy. I mean, they're always so friendly and helpful, and the Medicine Shop is a full-service pharmacy. Then last week I'm talking to my sister and discovered the Medicine Shop offers complete compounding services, just like in the old days when pharmacists took the time to make unique prescriptions just for you. Compounding made it possible for my sister to get her hormone replacement product made right here, and I was able to get a topical cream for pain-filled as well. We were so glad we could get our compounded medications locally and talk face-to-face with the pharmacist. He told us that he works directly with our doctor to make sure we get just the right product for our needs. And the Medicine Shop can compound prescriptions in various forms: capsules, lozenges, creams, even flavored lollipops. Just when I thought I knew all the reasons why we chose the Medicine Shop, I found one more. Give pharmacist Eric Black a call today in Mount Vernon at 618-242-8776.
You're listening to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
3 runs in the top of the first inning. That took about 20 minutes. The Rams are on top 3-zip. As I said, the boosters last night, the Mount Vernon Rams Baseball Booster Club held their annual banquet. The Brendan Klein Scholarship went to Colin Young. The Defensive Player of the Year was Colin Young. Round of the Year, Landon Thomas. Pitcher of the Year, Brock Fulkerson. The Offensive Player of the Year, Colten Meador. That'll wrap up that last night. We appreciate the invitation and the invite, and, of course, being able to be there as well. It's time for the Edwardsville Tigers to come to the plate. Matt Zalonko will lead off. He actually did not start the game in the center, took over as an injury to the center fielder and the right fielder in a hustle play. You can't fault the 2 young men for diving and hustling. Gets in the game. He comes in, Zalonko, with an average of .358 on the year. It's not bad to bring him off the bench. Check that. He has 19 hits and 53 at-bats. That's not a bad start. The count goes to 1-1. Tyler Ellis on the hill for the Rams this afternoon. He comes into the game with a record of nothing listed. How's that grab you? Just kidding. I'll get to you in just a second. Pitch out inside for a strike, 1-2. Tyler Ellis has a record of 5-2 with a 2.31 ERA. He's on the swing and a miss. Third strike drop. They'll throw inside, and that'll be the first out of the inning as Blanco goes down swinging. Jordan Heckler will bat second to shortstop. He's got an average of .346 on the season for Edwardsville. Second Chance Auto, who wouldn't love to buy a vehicle with credit approval right over the phone? You can at Second Chance Auto. Give them a call at 244-4582. First pitch on the way to the Heckler. Just kidding. His last name is Heckler. That's a ball. Ball 1. Shortstop, pretty smooth out there. You can see in infield, he's got a good set of hands, quick release, pretty good arms. He fouls that one down the third base side. Count goes even to 1-1. In the outfield for the Rams, left to right, it's Reeves, Thomas, and Pike. Harrison, Williams, Flota, and Meador, third to first in the battery of Colin Young and Tyler Ellis. Pitch on the way from the senior. That ball dropped in there, but just inside, 2-1 to count. Lovely day here in the Metro East. Basically sunny, some sparse clouds flying around. blocking the sun every once in a while. Pitch on the way, fly ball in the center. Landon Thomas will go to his left near the warning track and make the catch for the second out of the inning on Mr. Heckler. That'll bring in Drew Curtis, the first baseman, batting .402 on the season, a .794 slugging percentage, 41 hits this year. He's got 10 home runs and 45 RBIs, so he, of ye big stick in this dead bat era, of course, the dead bats these days, 10 home runs is like having 25 or 30 back in the day. That pitch, curveball, hits the corner, strike one. Thing you look at with Curtis, he's got 21 singles, 10 doubles, and then 10 home runs. You can tell he puts the ball in play. Not just a straight power hitter, a big, tall, lanky guy. Tell he's quite wiry strong, as we'd like to say. That's right-handed, plays first base. Ellis out of the stretch, as he usually is. Pitch outside. Ball two, slung that one up there. 2-1. The Tigers are number one seed in their own regional next week. Alton the 2, Dansville a 3. That's a nice short trip. Followed by Quincy, and then the short trip that Pekin has to make down. That's interesting. Swing and a base hit in the left center field. That will get down. It gets by Reeves to the warning track, and that will allow Curtis to get into second base. So we'll give a single and an EH. That allowed him to get to second base as the first error of the day for the Mount Vernon Rams. And Edwardsville has a runner at second and one out. Alec Pizzini will step in. He's got a batting average of .342 on the season. Pizzini is spelled Pizzini. For those of you wondering at home. He has an average of .342 on the season, 13 singles in there, 5 home runs, 22 RBIs. A little pop there from the catcher from behind the plate. First pitch on the way is a ball, 1-0. Throw back to second. Oh, wow. They had Curtis napping back there, and his long-armed frame allowed him to get back in and under the tag. Although there are people in this press box are wide-eyed right now. They won't say anything. Pitch on the way, 1-0. I wouldn't expect them to anyway. 2-0. That ball inside. Tim Buckhauser, the head coach here in the third base coach's box, 500 wins. Played on the 1990 state championship team here, was the shortstop. Batted .325 that year. Pitch on the way, 2-0. That looked pretty good down the middle. A little high, 3-0. Never mind. Here in the press box here, Coach Funkhauser was very nice. Talked to him well before the game got here. Set up, talked to him. He was very hospitable and about. Now, he was safe that time. Didn't get the tag in time. They throw back to second. Tag was late. As you can see, Curtis get back easily that time. Mr. Coach Funkhauser was very nice. We talked about Edwardsville baseball, the old times. He and I are the same age. Pitch on the way. Swing, and a ball rocketed back up the middle into center field. Thomas will test the arm. Throw coming home will be cut off. Meador drops it, and that will allow Curtis to score. An RBI single for Alec Pizzini. And Edwardsville has gotten on the board. They trail now 3-1. A line drive back up the middle. The ball was cut, and nothing could be done with it as it went on from there. Your community, your choice, your bank with 5 locations and friends and neighbors on staff understand your needs. Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. 3-1 now. Edwardsville trails now. Alex Myers, the DH, will step in. Right-handed hitter takes strike one, batting .292 on the year. As we get into this late spring, 26 hits on the season, 16 RBIs, nothing past a double on his resume. After the last two guys had the bulk of the home runs. Pitch on the way, line drive back up the middle again, another base hit. Thomas will corral in center field. That's the third hit in a row for the Tigers. So after Ellis got the first 2 outs of the inning on a strikeout and a flyout, single, accompanied with an error, has allowed Edwardsville to get a run and have runners at first and second with 1 out. And that'll bring in Jacob Fisher, the second baseman. That's batting .333 on the season, 25 hits overall, 13 singles and 7 doubles. Actually, 22 singles, 3 doubles. He's got a home run and 2 triples. So if he gets one in the gap, he's a speed guy. He takes ball 1. Back in the plate. Ellis out of the stretch, first and second. Rams infield basically at regular depth. Pitch on the way. That pitch inside corner for a strike. 1-1. Scoreboard update coming up. We'll be able to tell you a little bit more here in just a second once things start filtering down. Throw the second, not in time. At the end of 2 in softball, Lady Rams lead Centralia 1-0. Wayne City was winning their game 3-0 in softball at the Woodlawn Regional. Scoreboard update brought to you by Tony Wilton State Farm Insurance. As Ellis out of the stretch, as he's been all inning, pitch on the way, curveball, a hard curveball in there for a strike. Count goes to 1-2. Of course, the Lady Rams will play Mascoutah tomorrow before playing Salem on Friday. They're playing every day of the week, not named Saturday and Sunday this week. Wayne City leads 7-0 the end of 2. Pitch on the way, swing and a ball. The coach Funkhauser in the third base box. Shows those soft hands, made it look easy. He gets ready to give a set of signs on this 2 outs. First and second, though, Ellis 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning here in this first. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss on the curveball. The Rams do give up a run. It's unearned on 3 hits. We're at the end of 1. Mount Vernon 3, Edwardsville 1. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois welcomes Dr. Beth Conrarty to their medical staff. Dr. Conrarty specializes in comprehensive pain management using a multidisciplinary team approach by working with other specialists for optimal diagnosis and treatment of pain. Dr. Conrarty will treat most conditions of the spine, including management of cancer pain. Dr. Beth Conrarty, helping to make life better day after day at the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois in Mount Vernon. Call 618-242-3778.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank, asking why you bank with Community First Bank. Is it knowing your deposits are also vital to home loans in Jefferson County and our local economy? Is it having your choice of convenient locations and ATMs? Is it seeing a staff of friendly faces you recognize as your neighbors? These are all reasons enough to count, though you only need one, and we are honored you chose us. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Rams Baseball on AM 940 WMIX, Mount Vernon, Bloomington, Paducah, and online at WMIXsports.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
Back here at the WMIX Sports Mobile Studio, sponsored by Ford Square and King City Chrysler. King City Chrysler, located at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, KingCityChrysler.com. Facebook and Hertz Rental Car available there as well. 1 inning in the book here. This game started at 4:21, an injury delay in the top of the first, meaning this first inning took 40 minutes, but the Rams have a 3-1 lead as we head into the second inning. It'll be Reeves, Harrison, and Paninsky for the Rams here in this top of the second inning. Clayton Reeves getting the starting nod in left field as he comes into the game with an average of .238, 15 hits on the season, 3 doubles involved in those hits. Pitch on the way. And that's in there for a strike 1 call. Lady Rams continue to lead Centralia. Pitch on the way to Reeves. In there for strike 2. Will have to be swinging day, like the strike zone. Get in there and swing. We're not here to watch pitches go by all day. Get in there and swing, like the zone of the umpire here so far. 0-2 count to Reeves. Reeves will step out as Sparks was ready to get going, and Reeves said, nah, not ready yet. Wait on me. Out of the windup, the pitch on the way. That pitch outside, just missed. Goes to 1-2. The Rams, of course, on a 2-game losing streak. First one since they lost to Triad and Waterloo back-to-back in March. Average temperature of those 2 games, -30. Just kidding. Pitch on the way in the dirt, down the middle, 2-2. Rams will have Highland in the doubleheader on Saturday at home. Final home games of the regular season. And then it's on the road for the postseason. They'll open up next Wednesday at the Heron Regional as they take on the winner of Heron and Marion at 4:30. Carbondale Centralia, the 2-3 seeds, will play on Thursday at 4:30 with the winners for the championship next Saturday at 11 a.m. 2-2 pitch on the way to Reeves. Swinging a ground ball to third. Up with it is Hovey. Makes it look easy. Scoops and fires. And the second inning begins with a 5-3 ground out by Clayton Reeves. Your familiar faces, new places. Bank with Ray and Bree at Community First Bank's 42nd Street location in Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. In walks Sawyer Harrison, the third baseman. Senior honored last night. Sawyer batting .239 on the season. Playing third base, has been there all year. First pitch on the way from Sparks. Pitch low in the zone, grabs the corner, and strike one is called. Paninsky is on deck. Interesting stat about Hayden Paninsky coming up. We'll give that, of course, to you when he gets up here to the plate. 3-1. Rams lead here in the second. Curveball is 1-1. It's a late strike call today for those old enough to remember, kind of like without the volume. Dutch Renard goes into the one kneel crouch, one leg kneel, then of course comes up, signals to the right, takes a little bit for us here in the press box. Harrison will step out for time. Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. You can go to Facebook, like us there at WMIX Sports. We have all kinds of information we put out there, especially on Twitter all the time. That pitch inside goes to 2-1. Harrison, one of several seniors, like 10 last night, that were honored at the banquet last night at the Elks. 10 of the 15 people dressed are seniors. Pitch on the way, swing, and a foul ball off to the third base dugout. Count will leave it out at 2-2. Well, they chase that ball. I'll tell you, I'll pick a Rend Lake College player of the game when this one is over. Rend Lake College offers over 100 degree and certificate programs for thousands less. Log on rlc.edu so you can save thousands. Here, it's a 2-2 count to Sawyer Harrison. Top of the second inning, pitch on the way. Ground ball towards second. Fisher has it, throws to first. That's a 4-3 put out, second out of the inning. Lady Rams still leads Centrae at the end of 3, 1-0 in softball. Lady Rams soccer trails Carbondale 2-0 in the regional game at Marion right now. And Wayne City leads Odin 7-0 in the third in softball. That scoreboard update brought to you by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. Glad to help your family. Give him a call or find him on the web at TonyWilt.com. In steps Hayden Paninsky, the senior honored last night. He takes strike one. He is 16 of his last 32 since April 9th. That's a .500 average. Been one of the hotter hitters on this team for the Rams, along with Colten Meador, pretty much all season. That pitch flails outside. Count evens up at 1-1. As the Rams got 3 quickies in the first. Lead 3-1, though. Pitch on the way. That ball bounces in the dirt. 2-1. Jumping on a guy, Fisher, or I should say Sparks, on the hill, who had an ERA under 1 coming into this one. 6-2 with an ERA of .99. Gave up only 30 hits in 42 innings, and Paninsky will get on base with the HP, hit by pitch. So you can tell Sparks is not really on his game. He has 12 games pitched, 10 started, 1 complete game. 42 in the third innings, and he has given up 15 runs, 6 of those earned. So he has been one that's been very good this year, and the Rams jumped him for 3. They'll roll over to the top of the order. Jake Pycup singled, stole the base, and scored at the top of the first. Pitch on the way, outside, ball 1. Paninsky at first with 2 outs. 3-1 Rams here in the top of the first. Rams have 3 runs on 2 hits. They do have an error from the previous inning. Out of the stretch is Sparks as Hey takes his lead at first. He'll have to dive back in. Go back in with the base at his waist. Plenty of time. He could probably take a little bit bigger lead over there at first base. The WMIX Sports Mobile Studio, sponsored by Ford Square, 1501 Broadway. Like them on Facebook or go to FordSquare.com to schedule some of your maintenance appointments. Throw the first again. Paninsky back in easily that time as he goes along. Sparks had 19 pitches in the first inning, starting to get up toward the 30 count here in the second. Pitch on the way. That is in there on the corner for a strike. 1-1. Tim Holloway in the coach's box at third. Quinn McClure in the coach's box at first. Bench coach Tom Fulkerson in the dugout for the Rams. That's your staff. The JV Rams playing across the way at the baseball JV field. I'll give you a score here in a second. There goes Paninsky. Pike swings and sends one down the left field line out of play over the bullpen batting cage and otherwise. And we'll have to do it again at 1-2. Across the way at the JV game, it looks like in the third it is Mount Vernon 4, Edwardsville 1. from the scoreboard I can see from here. 4-1 Mount Vernon, the JV Rams, 25-4, looking for their 26th win of the year. That's 30 games for a JV team they've gotten in this year, and they look like they're winning 4-1 across the way to turf field. Pitch on the way, Paninsky off and running again, and Pike is hit by the pitch. So Paninsky will go in the second. Pike hit by the pitch, back-to-back hit by pitches. And that'll bring in Landon Thomas with first and second and 2 out here in the second. Thomas reached on a fielder's choice in the first, stole a base, and then scored. And the Rams are in business again with the top of the order. Pitch on the way. That ball is in their first strike, strike one. Outfielder straight away. Center fielder is kind of to the left of center, about 10, 15 feet. Infielders playing back, first baseman not holding on in this first, second, 2-out situation. Pitch on the way, curveball in, throw behind the runner at first, and getting back in on the dive is Pike. No chance as the count goes to 1-1. Carbondale has scored again in soccer. They lead the Lady Rams 3-0. And, of course, in softball, as I said, the Lady Rams lead Centralia 1-0. That would be in the bottom of the third. Scoreboard update tagged on there to the Tony Wilt scoreboard update I read a while ago. Pitch outside on the fastball, 2-1. End of the year, graduation Saturday night. You can watch that at WMIXsports.com. We will broadcast that for you. Commencement exercises, a.k.a. graduation. I'd rather say graduation. It's much easier. 2-1 count to Thomas. Pitch on the way, swing, and a fly ball. Popped up on the infield toward the dugout. Nobody will have a play as it gets out of play, and the count evens up at 2-2. So Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on, and a 2-run lead for the Rams here in the top of the second inning. Colin Young on deck as the top of the order for the Rams has been able to get some things done here this afternoon. Out of the stretch. Sparks looks to second, throws home, pitch low, and full count, and the runners will go. Speaking of going, go to Community First Bank with 5 locations in Mount Vernon, Dixon, and Woodlawn. Community First Bank is proud to be the official voice of the showcase. Welcome back to Personal Banking member FDIC. It's go time for the runners. Paninsky at second, Pike at first on this 3-2 count with 2 outs. Runners are off. Pitch on the way, swinging a ground ball over to second. Will it be enough to get Thomas? It is. It's an infield hit. Paninsky's going to try to score all the way from second base, and does, as Paninsky slid in behind the throw. And it's 4-1 Mount Vernon on the infield hit by Landon Thomas. The ball was grounded between first and second. The second baseman had to range to his left into the outfield to get the ball. He had no plan to get Thomas over at first base. Paninsky, going on the 3-2 pitch from second, was able to go all the way from second to home and scored when he slid. The throw was a little high. Catcher had to reach. Paninsky went head first, slid to the back corner of the plate, and was able to reach. So single and RBI to Thomas. It's 4-1, and Colin Young will step in. Pitch on the way. Popped up out of play for strike one. So Landon Thomas drives in a run with an infield hit. And the Rams have a 4-1 lead here at Edwardsville in the top of the second inning. Colin Young will step out. Rams up 4-1, 4 runs on 2 hits. Actually, that's 3 hits. 1, 2, 3 hits. Yeah. 4 run 3 hits. They throw in behind the runner there at first once again. They kind of like, Edwardsville likes that throwing in behind the runner at first as much as Mount Vernon likes to try to pick off somebody at second base. It all works out pretty even on the play. It'll be the battle of the pickoffs before this day's over. 1-1 count, pitch on the way. That ball's in the dirt. And the count goes 2-1. Mount Vernon right now with an opportunity with first and third to add on to this lead here in Edwardsville. Update from soccer. Carbondale scored twice more. It's 5-0. Terriers over Mount Vernon. That pitch in there for a strike count, evened up at 2. Tim Holloway giving some signals in the third base dugout. 4-2 now. Mount Vernon JV leads Edwardsville in the third. Looks like Mount Vernon will be in the bottom of the third. See, Mount Vernon's on defense over across the way. You don't think I can see that far, do you? Oh, he can't. Okay. My guy to right that's in charge of the video, he's amazed by me being able to see that far. Pitch, a step off first to third, and they had the forced balk play. Landon Thomas is trying to get in a run down, and the run's going to come home and score. Jake Pike will score. Landon Thomas is out, but Pike scored as Thomas got in the run down, and that'll mean Colin Young will come to the plate. The Rams get 2 more runs, and on the forced balk play, as Landon Thomas gets picked off, so 1 run scores before and 1 on the forced balk. So at the end of 1.5, it's Mount Vernon 5, Edwardsville 1. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
How do the best continue to get better? Hi, this is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. We're no different than any team. When you're at the top of your game, the best want to play for you. That's why, with the addition of our new shop foreman and the rest of our body shop crew, Landers now has a combined experience of over 70 years in dealing with the best parts and repair finishes on the market. This means when you walk into Landers, you can breathe a little easier knowing that your vehicle will receive the best quality repair by the best certified technicians within a reasonable amount of time. Again and again, we work directly with most insurance companies and have loaners and rental vehicles on site for your convenience. We're proud to not only be the standard, but to keep raising the bar in collision repair. Come meet the staff, take a tour of our facilities, and get to know the Landers crew that Landers Collision has so proudly acquired. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. Give us a call, 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS.
This is Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX and WMIXSports.com.
For Mount Vernon at the plate, 2 innings of runs. Mount Vernon has scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second. It's 5-1 Rams as we play here in the bottom of the second inning. 7-8-9 for the Edwardsville Tigers as Ellis throws in a first pitch strike to Tyler Worthy, batting .300 on the season for the Tigers out of a 7-hole. He came in right field, of course, on the injury in the first inning. And the count evens up at 1-1. Denny Czerwinski here. Chris Hugo on assignment. Rams lead 5-1 here at Edwardsville at the bottom of the second. Pitch on the way, swinging a ground ball to second. Floater ranges to his right, throws the first, gets the runner, 4-3, on the close putout. We'll tell you, if you can put a logo on it, All-Stars and Stitches can probably print it. See Big Dave at All-Stars and Stitches just west of Benton High School. Or call 435-5555. In steps Jake Garella, the left fielder, batting .234 on the season, wearing number 9. Pitch on the way for a strike. We're in baseball tradition territory. The Edwardsville Tigers had a lineage and history of baseball, state titles, state appearances, great players, great coaches, and it continues. Swinging a ground ball to third. Sawyer Harrison comes to his left, cuts it off in front of Williams. 5-3 put out to first. Second out of the inning as, once again, the Rams have gotten the first 2 outs of the inning. They got the first 2 outs of the inning in the first inning and then proceeded to give up 3 straight singles, which allowed the only Edwardsville run so far. Jordan Hovey, the third baseman, will step in, batting .219 from the left side, wearing double batting gloves. Takes a pitch on the inside for ball 1. Wearing the soft protector on the right elbow. Pitch on the way, upright stance. Takes a strike on the lower end outside corner, 1-1. 4-3 now. Rams JV leads in the third. That pitch is swung and fouled off toward the third base dugout. Count goes to 1-2. A quick inning here for Tyler Ellis would be a huge, huge step for him in this ball game. As we get some other scores coming in, Harrisburg leads Hamilton County 13-0 in baseball at the end of 2. Pitch swung on down to first, off of Colten Meador's glove, down the right field line. It'll bounce around off the tarp, under the tarp, goes underneath. Can't find it, don't pick it up. Once you lose it, don't touch it. There's a tarp down there. And that ball rattled around down there and got wrapped in the tarp. So it will go, I will go, single and an error. I'm going to do that. I don't think he even has that. We'll go single and error. It's the 4th hit for Edwardsville. Second error on Mount Vernon. Ball got down the right field line towards the tarp, which is rolled out down that right field line. They got wrapped up in the tarp. And the smart thing by Jake Pike, once you lose track of it, throw your hands up, but don't go after it. If you go after it, play can continue. And that'll bring it back to the top of the order. Zalanko up. He struck out looking in the first inning, took over in center field after the injury. Pitch on the way low for a ball, 1-0. Runner at second with 2 outs. That's kind of the MO of Edwardsville so far. Had 2 outs in the first, was able to get a run. Now have 2 outs here and then get a runner on. Ellis out of the stretch as he's been the entire ballgame. Pitch inside, and that goes to 2-0. Edwardsville, the record of 25-8, are number 1 seed in their own regional here next week at Edwardsville. Pekin and Danville also in that regional, and those teams are nowhere near Edwardsville. Think about the driving those 2 teams might have to do next week. Pitch on the way outside. Count goes to 3-0. Mater Dei leads Westland 5-3 after 3 in high school baseball. The Class 2A regionals, that Tony World scoreboard will roll wildly today with all the games going on in postseason as Ellis throws the first strike of this at-bat, 3-1. Carbondale Soccer now leads Mount Vernon 6-0 along the way in that Marion regional game. Pitch on the way. Strike 2 called. The Edwardsville girls soccer team were practicing just when I pulled in this afternoon on the football field. That's where they play their soccer games. All turf surface. Interesting setup. I'll explain the parking setup here, too, which makes perfect sense how they did this. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Tag applied by Colin Young, and that'll end the inning. The Tigers get no runs. They strand one with a hit. We're at the end of 2. Mount Vernon 5, Edwardsville 1. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins. You did it. It's graduation day, and you've got that feeling beyond compare. From kindergarten to graduation, your day-to-day efforts have been your first long-term investment. Community First Bank extends congratulations along with a promise. In the coming year, we will increase our community scholarship dollars to encourage graduation goals across Jefferson County and further invest in our community. Like us on Facebook to learn more. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Startup businesses, and they come in the door, they're pretty green.
Randy Atkinson, owner of Heartland Accounting, on why he is a small business expert.
I have had businesses where I've talked to people in their garage and have grown it to work in 3 states. There's a lot of tremendous opportunity to help people from the very inception of their business, whether it's just talking about what does it take to become successful, what sorts of things do we need to stay legal. I feel very qualified to help people get to where they want to be. I've had that experience and have helped that situation become successful.
Heartland Accounting, 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B.
Find us on Facebook under WMIX Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
2 innings in the book here in the Metro East. Edwardsville, to be specific, the Rams lead the Tigers 5-1. Denny Czerwinski here with Chris Hugo on assignment. Here in Edwardsville, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 for Mount Vernon. Colin Young, Colten Meador, and Trevor Florida. The Tigers will play Triad on Friday. They'll close out if they can find a game on Saturday. That's the end of their regular season as teams wrap up in the 3A, 4A variety. As Colin Young will take ball 1 inside. Young was up at bat when Landon Thomas got caught in the forced balk pickoff. Was the Rams able to get a run off of that? So he's back in the batter's box again. Takes strike 1, count evens. Add 1-1. Young grounded into a 6-3 his first at bat, but that drove in a run. So that was okay. Pick count is 1-1 to the senior catcher, Defensive Player of the Year, and the Brennan Klein Scholarship Award winner last night at the Rams Baseball Booster Club banquet. 2-1 is the count. 5-1 is the score. Mount Vernon on top here at Edwardsville. Pitch on the way. Low, just misses. Umpire didn't flinch. 3-1. Rams will be in action Saturday against Highland in doubleheader, starting at 11. You can listen to that here on WMIX. Senior day, last home games, graduation day in Mount Vernon, big time in the King City. Ground ball to third. Nice play by Hovey. He'll throw well over the first base bag, and Colin Young will reach on the air. Hovey made a great pick at third base. The ball got to him pretty quick. It hit just inside the cutout of the dirt and the grass. Made the great play and then threw the old sidearmer over there. When you throw sidearm like that, that ball is going to tail and carry. And when you can overthrow a guy who's about 6'3" on the bag at first, you know you've done something. So Young reaches on the air. That'll bring in Colten Meador. Colten Meador was the guy who hit the inside the park home run for 2 RBIs in the first. in which the center fielder and right fielder collided, diving headlong into each other, which got the Rams on top 3-0 to start this game as Meador takes strike one on the outside corner. The Rams lead 5-1 here in this top of the third. Colin Young is at first. He'll get a chance to run. Pitch on the way. Curveball swung toward the first base dugout, out of play. And count goes to 0-2. I see the photographer down the right field line. I'm not sure if he has brought his headphones with him or not. He's not reacting. He got out of the way quickly that time. Did not make much of a play on that foul ball. Pitch on the way. Swung and fouled back into the backstop in front of us. 1-2 remains the count. It's a beautiful facility here, sitting in a press box. Air conditioner on. We do have the windows open, so we get a feel of what it's like outside. Don't you think we're that soft? But it is a wonderful facility. Lots of seating below us, bleacher seating, and directly below us are chair seats, general admission, with bleacher seating on either side and a grandstand set. Pitch on the way. Strike three called on the punch-out. Looking is Colten Meador. Shopping has sent back to the dugout. Now to bring in Trevor Flo to the senior ground at the second, his first time at bat. With 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all your accounts, Community First Bank would like to be the first to say welcome back to personal banking. Runner at first with one out. Pitch on the way. A little off-speed curveball drops in there for strike one. The Flo to the senior. Flo will play golf at UIS next year. He and Matthew Williams, the middle infielder from Mount Vernon. Matthew Williams will play golf at Red Lake College. Pitch on the way. Bat ball is swung on and will drop into right field for a base hit. The Rams will move up the base as Zach Gines, the courtesy runner, moves from first to second. And that'll bring up the fourth hit for the Mount Vernon Rams in the ball game as Flota gets his first hit of the day. And the Rams in business again with first and second and one out with Matthew Williams up, who grounded his third hit last at bat. The Rams have brought their bats today after being held to 2 hits on Monday at Belleville West. The Maroons beat the Rams 1-0. So the Rams this year have an interesting record against the Belleville schools. That pitch, first one into Williams for a ball. Of course, they're 1-0-1 against Altoff with the tie and that rain out. Beat East, lost to West, so I guess that would be 2-1-1 if you're keeping track of playing the schools from Belleville. Gines takes his lead at second. Pitch on the way. Inside, count goes to 2-0. Of course, Edwardsville beat Altoff 11-3. Of course, West and East are in their conference. They play them twice. And, of course, you want to talk about another South 7 school. They beat Centralia 9-1. 2-0 pitch on the way. Curveball in their first strike. 2-1 on the wrinkle. Clayton Reeves on deck. Rams would like to have an opportunity. Have scored in every inning. Be nice to tack on some more runs here in this third. You get a win against an Edwardsville program. That's a nice one to have and put a nice big feather in your cap. Pitch on the way. Swing and a ground ball to second. Out at second for one, out at first, double play. And the Edwardsville Tigers say no scoring here in the second inning on the 4-6-3 double play, which ends the inning. The Rams strand run on one hit, don't score. We're at the end of 2.5. Mount Vernon 5, Edwardsville 1. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
The Medicine Shop in Mount Vernon would like to announce the grand opening of a custom compounding lab located right next door. What is compounding, you ask? Well, quite simply, it's working with your doctor to solve problems. Have you ever had an infant who couldn't keep antibiotics down? Compounding is formulating that drug into a suppository. Problem solved. Have you ever been nauseous and unable to take tablets? We can compound that anti-nausea drug into a cream you simply apply to the skin. Problem solved. Worried about side effects or risks associated with oral pain medication or hormone therapy? We can compound pain medications or hormone meds into a topical cream that will avoid most, if not all, of the risks and side effects. Problem solved. These are just a small sampling of our ability to better serve our patients. It's another way we at the Medicine Shop stand out from the competition. Give the staff at the Medicine Shop a call today.
Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
2.5 innings in the book. Mount Vernon leads at Edwardsville 5-1. The Tigers will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up here in their order as we start the bottom of the third across the way at the JV game, top of the fourth. Edwardsville now leads Mount Vernon 5-4. So battles of orange and black everywhere here on the campus of Edwardsville High School. First pitch on the way to Heckler is a ball, 1-0. Heckler flew out the center in the first in his first at-bat. Here as we look out, field kind of faces to the northwest. The Edwardsville High School across the way, across the road. You can see it across the way. I mean, it's an immaculate school setup. And over here to the right is a sports complex. Pitch on the way, swung and fouled back, count even to 1-1. What they've done, I really like, is the baseball and football field that the varsity uses on one side. In the middle, as you drive in, the parking lot is the division between that and the JV field, the softball fields and whatnot. Pitch on the way. 2-1. Now, if you can imagine that the parking lot splits the facilities, that way you don't have to be parked on one side or the other and walk all the way across. A pretty good setup for a sports complex as strike two comes in on the 2-1 count. Pretty good setup for parking and complex and how to get different places. Here at this kind of the facility, they've done a great job. 2-2 pitch on the way is Ellis. Swing, and the bat is cut off on the check swing, and Ellis will roll over to the first place line, make the play, and the count, or I should say the play goes 1-3 in the book. And that'll bring in Drew Curtis. He singled and scored in the first inning as he reached and then advanced to second on the error that allowed him to get on the same play, and then will score the only run for the Tigers so far. 402 on the season, the B for this lineup. Specimen at first base. Pitch is low, ball one from Ellis. 39 pitches through the first two innings for the senior. Going to Ren Lake College next year to play baseball. You look around the infield, 4 of the people in the infield are playing next year somewhere. In the outfield, Landon Thomas, of course, is going to Ren Lakes. You have 5 people on the field doing something college-wise next year. That hit pitch right back up the middle for another single, and the 5th of the day for the Tigers, as that's where they have been able to go, is to take it right back up the middle against Ellis for singles. And that'll bring in Alec Pizzini. He singled and drove in the only run back in the first, the catcher, as Curtis was the one that scored on his RBI back in the first inning. Pitch on the way in there for a strike, 0-1. On the way. Inside corner, strike 2. Ellis with another off-speed pitch. Nice job by the senior to work ahead. Wants to more quickly get going here. This game started at 4:21. We're at the bottom of the 5:30 hour. Pitch on the way outside. Whaling, swing and a miss for strike 3. Pizzini went fishing that time. Couldn't reach the outside corner, and he goes down swinging. And that'll bring in Alex Myers, the DH single the last time, the third of 3 hits. Way back in that, or I should say back in the first, not way back, hasn't been that long. As we play, runner at first, 2 outs now. Pitch on the way. Ellis throws a strike. You can see Ellis kind of getting in a groove here in this bottom of the third, pitching very quickly. Infielders, outfielders straight away, regular position. 0-1 pitch on the way to Ellis. Swing and a foul. Count goes to 0-2. You can follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. I'm tweeting things left and right, also retweeting some information from scores around Southern Illinois. Or you can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. That's where we're at social media-wise. Pitch on the way. Ground ball to short. Williams ranges to his right. Will throw to first. And that will retire the side, 6-3. The Tigers do get a hit, but Strand 1. We're at the end of 3. Mount Vernon 5, Edwardsville 1. You're listening to Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX.
It happens every spring. You need a great quality new-to-you vehicle. There's a reason why Second Chance Auto has been helping put families into affordable, dependable vehicles for over 32 years. Honest, fair deals. Ain't nothing fancy, just great vehicles with warranties. Honest deals and bank rate financing for all. That's the only way Second Chance Auto will do business. And you don't even have to leave your home to get credit approval. Call Second Chance Auto at 244-4582 and get pre-approved right over the phone. They know bad things can happen to good people. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Vernon.
Startup businesses, and they come in the door, they're pretty green.
Randy Atkinson, owner of Heartland Accounting, on why he is a small business expert.
I have had businesses where I've talked to people in their garage and have grown it to work in 3 states. There's a lot of tremendous opportunity to help people from the very inception of their business, whether it's just talking about what does it take to become successful, what sorts of things do we need to stay legal. I feel very qualified to help people get to where they want to be. I've had that experience and have helped that situation become successful.
Heartland Accounting, 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B.
Back to the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
3 innings in the book here in Edwardsville. The Mount Vernon Rams baseball team lead Edwardsville 5-1. Denny Czerwinski here on assignment. Chris Hugo. It'll be Reeves, Harrison, and Paninsky, 7, 8, 9 for the Mount Vernon Rams. The first inning, the third, where neither team scored. Edwardsville right now, 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors. Mount Vernon, 5 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. Pitch on the way, popped up on the infield, home run in the elevator shaft. Coming across is Curtis, the first baseman, will cut across and make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the third. What you don't know or don't understand about your existing policies can end up hurting you and your family. With the right help from Country Financial, almost any family can achieve financial security. Develop a plan that meets your goals with Country Financial representative in Mount Vernon, Miss Sarah Staley. There's the first pitch swinging. Sawyer Harrison to right field. That's easy. So we've had an F3 on 1 pitch and an F9 on the second pitch. So Sparks has to like that because he threw 63 pitches in the first 3 innings, and he has 2 pitches and 2 outs. As Hayden Paninsky will come up, hit by a pitch in the second, and score in that second inning. Pitch on the way, Paninsky takes one there, and it is a ball, 1-0. Rams lead 5-1 here in the third. Pitch on the way to Paninsky at off speed, just a bit high, 2-0. Smith will wait on the umpire. Action in the Edwardsville bullpen. We'll get a name and a number here quickly as they start to rattle some people down there to get pitchers up. That pitch in there for a strike, 2-1 to count. Down to the bullpen. Talked to some of the pitchers before the game. Had some fun with them. They were up here hanging out. They don't have to do much. Cole Hagan is down there. He's getting warmed up. The reason they were hitting 3-1 to count to Paninsky, the Edwardsville team was taking batting practice in rounds when I got here. And in the press box were the pitchers don't have to shag fly balls. They come in and work hard on Sundays pitching and everything, so they don't have to do the dirty work. As Hayden Paninsky thought he had ball 4, was headed to first, and it was strike 2. Count goes full. On this beautiful day, on inning 4 of this ball game. Pitch on the way, swing and a ground ball goes to short. Heckler ranges to his right, strong arm throws to first. Close play, and the umpire calls him out on the 6-3. We played 3.5 as the Rams go in order in the top of the 4th. It's Mount Vernon 5, Edwardsville 1. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
More Americans are on a move today than ever before. One of the most popular modes of transportation is the motorcycle. Motorcycles take us to our jobs, school, to the beach, and all around the country. If you're a bike rider, your Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, wants to make sure you have the best insurance protection while you're riding. Ask about the money-saving auto cycle discount and the experienced driver discount, too. Call Page Insurance at 242-7000 today about motorcycle insurance from Pekin Insurance.
I'm Andy Robb with a look at your next rad weather this afternoon. Very warm with sunshine and a shower or thunderstorm around, high 86. Mostly cloudy for tonight, low 62. Variable clouds tomorrow with a shower or thunderstorm around, high 80. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, low 58. Friday, a shower or thunderstorm around with the high on Friday, 82. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Listen to us from any device at WMIXsports.com. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
3.5 innings in the book here in Edwardsville. The Rams lead the Tigers 5-1. Denny Czerwinski here. Have you Barton back in the studio. Chris Hugo on assignment and in steps. Jacob Fisher, first pitch swinging, finds the glove of Matthew Williams, and that finds after the throw the glove of Colten Meador. 6-3 on the putout. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 4th for Mr. Tyler Ellis, Second Chance Auto. Get your credit approved over the phone at Second Chance Auto without even leaving home. Just pick up the phone and dial 244-4582. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, largest selection around. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. To Worthy, the right fielder. He grounded it to second his first time up. Largest selection in one location, Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Tyler Ellis is working quickly on the mound as expected. He and Fulkerson, when they get on the hill, they go. Pitch on the way. Kurt Ball catches the outside corner for strike 2, and the count goes quickly to 0-2. Rams had scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, shut out the last 2, but lead 5-1. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. Tyler Ellis has 4 pitches, 2 outs here in the fourth, and that'll bring in Jake Gorella, the left fielder. Left fielder, easy for me to say. He grounded to third his first at-bat. Rams looking for their 25th win of the year before the final 2 games on Saturday against Highland. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss for a strike 1 as Tyler Ellis not only working quickly but working ahead in the count. JV Rams trail 5-4 in the top of the 5th across the way. Pitch on the way. Check swing, no look at first, no swing, 1-1. I didn't think he went either. The Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show will come to you. I'll pick a Renton College player of the game, Schmidt Chevrolet, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon, or go to schmidtchevrolet.com. Pitch on the way, 1-1. Goes outside, 2-1. On this beautiful afternoon here in Edwardsville, lovely drive over. Pitch on the way, strike 2 call. Umpire late with that call up here in the booth. Can't hear him. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Bottom of the fourth, pitch on the way from Ellis. Curveball. Boy, that was pretty. Just missed inside. Count goes full. He started that curveball on the hip of the right-hand hitter, Gorella. Gorella throws, and that pitch got very close. Pitch 3-2 on the way. Swing and a ground ball. Goes to Harrison. It's a foul ball, and goodness, wish it was foul, because Gorella legged it out. It was a foul ball. And we'll do it again as Gorella will come back to the batter's box. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank's at home, and Dick Sina, Woodlawn, and Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. Back in the box is Gorella. We'll do it again. 3-2 pitch on the way, swing, and he'll ground one into the dugout and third base side. We'll do it again. That's the Edwardsville dugout, Mount Vernon in the first base dugout. Nice group of fans below me in the seats and below me in the green chair seats. See lots of Mount Vernon Rams fans as well as some Edwardsville faithful, of course. Swing and a ground ball to Harrison at third. Pick play to his left. Throw to first. High, but Meador corrals it. And that ends the bottom of the fourth inning. Through 4. Mount Vernon 5, Edwardsville 1. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank, asking why you bank with Community First Bank. Is it knowing your deposits are also vital to home loans in Jefferson County and our local economy? Is it having your choice of convenient locations and ATMs? Is it seeing a staff of friendly faces you recognize as your neighbors? These are all reasons enough to count, though you only need one, and we are honored you chose us. Community First Bank, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
Don't just dream about a better job, go get it with scores of programs that take 2 years, 1 year, or even just a few months to complete. Red Lake College is your gateway to a career you'll love. From nursing to coal mining, from computer programming to cosmetology, and everything in between. Red Lake College is affordable, convenient, and ready to get you trained for your new job fast. Call us at 618-437-5321 or visit us at rlc.edu.
Back to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
Get your credit approved over the phone at Second Chance Auto without even leaving home. Just pick up the phone and dial 244-4582. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. 4 innings in the book here in the Metro East. Mount Vernon leads Edwardsville 5-1. It's the top of the order for the Rams as Jake Pike steps in and takes ball 1 outside. Pike today has scored twice, singled, stole a base, and scored in the first. Hit by a pitch in the second, came in to score. And the Rams lead 5-1. Sparks still on the hill for the Tigers. Off-speed pitch, and Pike turns on one and fouls it down the right field side. Out of play down there, the Rams bullpen. Count goes to 1-1 on the long, loud strike. End of 5.5. Centralia leads Mountain Vernon in softball 8-2. Soccer, Carbondale leads Mount Vernon 6-0 in the Marion Regional. Pike swings and nubs one to the third baseman. Comes to his left, throws the first. Nice play. 5-3 on the putout as Hovey had to come across into the shortstop area because the ball was not sharply hit. Came over, grabbed it, scooped, and fired the first for the first out of the fifth. Landon Tommels stepped in, reached on the fielder's choice in the first, stole the base and scored, and then signaled and drove the run in the second. He's been involved a lot. Swings the first pitch, lines one to the right field. Back on a nice play on his horse is Worthy, and he's worthy of making the catch as Thomas hit that one on the nose on the line. And Worley took about 10 hard steps back to his left and was able to corral that one and make the play. And that'll step in Colin Young. Ground out RBI in the first. Reached on an error in the third as this game starts to pace pick up here. After a long first inning, Colin Young, first pitch swinging. The left fielder goes over and makes the catch. Rams go quickly in the top of the fifth. 1, 2, 3, into 4.5. Mount Vernon 5, Edwardsville 1. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
State Farm, this is Jessica.
Hey, Jessica, Jerry Newman. Does State Farm offer more discounts to more drivers?
Yep, like the good driver discount.
So it's for good, but not great drivers.
No, Jerry. There's also the multi-line discount.
For calling from multiple lines while driving.
You should never use a phone while driving.
I only make calls from my car when I'm stuck in a ditch or something.
Are you in a ditch?
Yes, I am.
State Farm offers more discounts to more drivers than any other insurance company. Get to a better state.
One more reason to call State Farm agent Tony Wilton Mount Vernon at 242-1421.
The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois proudly welcomes Dr. Brian Steinke to their medical staff. Dr. Steinke earned his medical degree at the University of Illinois in Chicago and has degrees in anatomy and physiology from UC Berkeley, and he brings prestigious credentials to the center. Dr. Steinke is a gifted physician and contributor to orthopedic textbooks. Call 618-242-3778 or visit their informative website at orthocenter-si.com.
This is Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX and WMIXSports.com.
The WMIX Sports Mobile Studio is brought to you by Ford Square, located at 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, FordSquare.com. Also, they are located on Facebook. Mobile Studios driven here today in a vehicle from Ford Square. That would be mine. It is the 9-1-2 for the Tigers here in the bottom of the fifth. Hovey, Zelenko, and Heckler. Hovey singled in the first. That was all he got. We're due for a Tony Wilt scoreboard update. We'll get to that here in just a second. Pitch on the way inside. Count goes to 1-1. We can tell you at the Woodlawn Softball Regional, Wayne City beat Odin 10-0. Centralia leads Mount Vernon softball at the end of 5.5, 8-2. Carbondale leads Mount Vernon soccer in girls play 6-0. Pitch into Hovey, grounded just outside the foul at first. The count will go to 1-2. That scoreboard update brought to you by Tony Wilt. He's glad to help your family with your insurance needs. Give him a call. Find him on the web at TonyWilt.com or look for the white State Farm Jeep around town. 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing and a foul at the plate. Actually, a drop third strike. And Colin Young applies the tag, and that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth strikeout of the game for Tyler Ellis. Lonko will step in. He's looking to stay away from the golden sombrero. He struck out swinging twice today. Ellis out of the stretch, pitch on the way, ground ball, swing on the Williams. Tough play, makes it look easy, throws the first for the out, 6-3, 2 outs in the inning. I'll pick a Rend Lake College player of the game when this one is over. Rend Lake College offers over 100 degree and certificate programs for thousands less. Log on to rlc.edu to see how you can save thousands. And that'll bring in Jordan Heckler, flew out to center. And that was in the first and grounded back to the pitcher in the third. Has flown out to center, if you want to ask him. He takes strike one. We have to keep that English image alive of what we're looking for. Swing and a fly ball in the left field. That will drop in front of Clayton Reeves. That's the first hit of the game for Edwardsville since the third inning. That's the sixth of the game as Heckler will reach first base. In the soccer game, an update. Carbondale now leads Mount Vernon 6-1 as Whitney Warner scores a goal for Mount Vernon. Baseball, Harrisburg leads Hamilton County 17-0 as that's a continuation of that Tony Wilde scoreboard update. Drew Curtis, the first baseman, will step in 2 for 2 on the day, has scored a run. But he's always at bat with outs. Here he steps up for the second time in 3 at-bats with 2 outs and a runner on. That pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. Your community, your choice, your bank with 5 locations and friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs. Community First Bank keeps it simple. And that pitch, lined down the left field line, but foul. Long, loud strike as Curtis was able to turn on that one. Pitch up in the zone. Count goes to 1-1. That is a final now in soccer. Carbondale ends the Mount Vernon Lady Rams season by a score of 6-1. That's down at the Marion Soccer Regional. That one just coming in off the wire. Pitch on the way. Inside. Count goes to 2-1. Got to be careful here. 5-1. Mount Vernon has not scored since the second. In fact, neither team has scored since the second. All goose eggs in the last 5 half innings. 2 outs here. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a ground ball to float at second. Goes under through his gloves. And the runner will go from first to third on the error. So the error allows the inning to continue as Trevor Float unable to come up with that one. Third error of the day for the Rams, and the Tigers now have the tying run coming to the plate in the form of Alex Pizzini, who today has singled, drove in a run, and struck out. Triad has defeated Althoff in softball 13-1. Another scoreboard update there. Right now, the Rams letting Edwardsville hang around. 3 errors today on the Rams. It's first and third and 2 outs with Pizzini at the plate. The Tigers have trailed the entire day. Ellis out of the stretch. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. I'll pick a Rend Lake College player of the game when this one is over. At Rend Lake College, you can get a quality education and save thousands. Log on to rlc.edu to see which program is right for you. Ellis throws the 1-0. That pitch, high and tight. 2-0. No action in the Rams bullpen, at least right now. Pitch on the way. 3-0 as Ellis starts to struggle a little bit. Right now, he doesn't need to have anything going on. Had 63 pitches coming into this 5th inning. Foul ball, 3-1 on the swing. Mount Vernon has had a nice, comfortable day so far. This is the tightest situation they have been in. Pitch on the way. Swing and a foul ball off the plate. It's full. Runner at first will take off now on the pitch. Infield, outfield, basically same position straight away. The Rams look to get out of this 5th with the lead. That would be nice. 3-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a foul ball back to the backstop. We'll do it again. With 5 locations in Mount Vernon, Dixon, and Woodlawn, Community First Bank is proud to be the official voice of the showcase. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. Ellis will toe the rubber again. We'll do 3-2 for the second time. First and third and 2 outs. Runner at first will take off. There he goes. Curve ball, just inside, ball 4. And now Edwardsville has the bases loaded, and designated hitter Alex Myers comes to the plate. This is the Edwardsville Tigers' best opportunity to score here this afternoon. And Tim Holloway will come to the mound, and while he comes to the mound to talk, we'll tell you that this trip to the mound brought to you by the Medicine Shop and Dr. Eric Black at 2339 Broadway. Stop by the locally owned Medicine Shop where customer service is their priority. It's the meeting of the minds in the infield for Tim Holloway. At the end of 6, Centralia leads Mount Vernon 10-2 in softball. Carbondale beat Mount Vernon in soccer 6-1 in the Marion Regional. Harrisburg beats Hamilton County 17-0 in baseball in a regional final at the Harrisburg Regional. Tim Holloway's visit to the mound over. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The go-ahead run now, actually the tying run, is at the plate in the form of Alex Myers. An inning the Rams should already be out of. Ellis out of the stretch, looks to third, comes home. Outside, ball 1. And Mount Vernon, who's had a comfortable day for 4.5 innings, finds themselves in a little bit of a squeeze here in this bottom of the fifth. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Big swing there by Myers. He was trying to tie this game and put one out there at the high school parking lot. 1-1. Ellis looks to the sign, looks the runner at third. Pitch on the way, high in the zone. That pitch is swung on in the center field. Thomas moves to the right, and the Rams have dodged a bullet as Edwardsville on one hit strands the bases loaded. We are through 5. It's Mount Vernon 5, Edwardsville 1. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Southern Illinois now has a better home for sports. It's the all-new WMIXSports.com. Jam-packed with local scores, video highlights, and archives of every local sports broadcast on WMIX. Did your team win? Missed that game-winning shot last night? Didn't catch your favorite coach on the Saturday sports show? WMIXSports.com is right at your fingertips. On your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, or your video game console. It's the all-new WMIXSports.com. Another free service from Withers Broadcasting.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins. You did it. It's graduation day and you've got that feeling beyond compare. From kindergarten to graduation, your day-to-day efforts have been your first long-term investment. Community First Bank extends congratulations along with a promise. In the coming year, we will increase our community scholarship dollars to encourage graduation goals across Jefferson County and further invest in our community. Like us on Facebook to learn more. Community First Bank, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
Back to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
A dicey fifth inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs, goes harmlessly into the day, into the book, as the Mount Vernon Rams help Edwardsville strand 3 runners. We're through 5. It's Edwardsville trailing Mount Vernon 5-1. Denny Czerwinski here in Edwardsville. As Chris Hugo away on assignment for Rams Baseball. A new pitcher into the ball game. We'll get a name and a number. That's number 13. Cole Hagan comes into the ball game for the Edwardsville Tigers. While he warms up, he'll get some extra pitches. Sparks went 5 innings, gave up, by my count, 4 hits, 5 runs, all earned. We'll look at the walks. I'm not seeing any walks. And he struck out 1. He right now stands to be the loser in this one if Mount Vernon can hang on. So Cole Hagan will come into the ball game, and the Rams will send up Meador, Floater, and Williams after him to try to get some more runs to kind of make this a little bit more comfortable of a game. Top of the 6th, here we go. The side armor, right-handed side, ground ball to first. That's easily covered by Curtis. He'll go on assist to the bag, so 3-U in the count. And that's the first out here in the top of the 6th inning here in Edwardsville with 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all your accounts. Community First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. In steps Trevor Floater to the plate. Takes strike 1. The Rams have not been a very patient outfit at the plate so far. They've swung a lot of first pitches in the last 2 innings. Float on the day, 1 for 2, grounded out to second in the first and singled in the third. He comes up here in the 6th, takes strike 2, 0-2. Rams looking for win number 25 on the season. Pitch on the way, swing and a ground ball to short. Stopped by Heckler, tries to throw it at first, won't be a play. Well, I'll tell you what, Float is going to reach on the infield hit for a single, but I am thoroughly impressed. Heckler got to the ball deep in the hole and short, slid on one knee, got up, and still got a throw to first base close enough to make that a close play. That was impressive. However, Floater reaches on the infield single. Williams will step in. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Williams is grounded to third and grounded to second for a double play. That's his 2 at-bats, 0 for 2 today for the senior shortstop. Hagan works quickly. Lanky guy on the mound, tall, and throws sidearm. Pitch on the way. Strike 2, 0-2. Williams at the plate. That's tough. A right-hand hitter, right-hand pitcher, and that right-hand pitcher throws sidearm. He's about 6'3", or maybe taller. Pitch on the way. There goes Flota. Swinging a foul off to the right side out of play. We'll do it again. And you get to be about 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" on that mound with a 10-inch mound. You throw that into effect, you become a menacing person out there. And up in this neck of the woods with Alton across the way. You start thinking of the world's tallest man, 8'11", Mr. Wadlow. Pitch. The Gentle Giant is slow to dive back into first. Had a little leaning tower pizza to him. Looked like he was interested in not staying at first base. He looked like he was on the move somewhere. 0-2 pitch on the way. Williams gets a bat on it, fouls it off over the dugout, and we'll do it again one more time. With 5 locations, Mount Vernon, Dixon, and Woodlawn, Community First Bank is proud to be the official voice of Rams baseball here this afternoon. 0-2 the count. We're going to do it again. With one out here in the sixth, the runner at first. That's Florida. Williams is in the box with the 0-2 count. Clouds start to get more and more here. Sun is out, but not here right now. There's almost three-quarters of the sky covered in clouds. Hagen out of the stretch. Gets the sign. Looks the first, comes home, pitch way outside. Count goes to 1-2. This will be an interesting at-bat. Matthew Williams is the kind of guy that'll battle off and try to get a lot of pitches for Hagen to throw. Catcher goes out to the mound. We'll remind you of some scores. Mount Vernon Lady Rams soccer loses day in the regional 6-1. Softball into 6th. Centralia leads Mount Vernon by a score of 10-2. After 5 in a regional. After 4, it is Mater Dei 8, Westland 4. That scoreboard update brought to you by Tony Wilton Insurance. As Florida goes from first, he's going to have to scamper back, but that ball goes out of play as the third foul ball of the at-bat. That scoreboard update brought to you by Tony Wilt. He's glad to help your family with all your insurance needs. Give his office a call and find him on the web at TonyWilt.com or look for the White State Farm Jeep around town. I am in the WMIX Mobile Studio, sponsored by Ford Square, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Ford Square vehicle got me here to this ballgame. Back again for the 1-2. Florida was leaning. The throw to first was in the dirt, but when it kicked off the glove of the first baseman, it bounds out towards second base fielding position. Therefore, Florida diving in one, and the ball not getting away. It means he stays at first base. 1-2 the count to Williams. He's fouled off pitches 3 in a row now, 4 in a row actually. Top of the 6th across the way. It is now Edwardsville 10, Mount Vernon 4 in JV. Out of the stretch, Hagen sidearm delivery pitches low. 2-2. Williams is working on a good at-bat. Exactly what Tim Holloway talked about at the baseball banquet last night. Sometimes averages are deceiving when kids like Matthew Williams are having an at-bat like this. 2-2 the count. Florida at first. He's going again. Pitch on the way outside. Throw will come in the second. Florida steals the bag easily. And now Florida is at second base with one out. And Williams, who had an 0-2 count, has worked it to 3-2. This could be a big at-bat in the matter of this game, especially in this inning. Go from 0-2 to 3-2 if Williams is able either to get on, get a hit, or something here. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That was a good comeback on the other side by Hagen to get the second out of the inning. And now we'll bring in Clayton Reeves, the left fielder. Reeves is grounded to third and popped out to first in his 2 at-bats here this afternoon in Edwardsville. Floated second. Big lead secondary now. Reeves swings and misses on the first one. Down the lines, 320. In the power alleys, 355 and 375 to center. A wooden fence, much like the one at Lanphier Park in Springfield. Green painting. Yellow tubing on top of the scoreboard in left field, like the one at Renton Klein Field. Pitch on the way is in there for strike 2. And right now, Hagen is finding his sea legs as he goes through in this inning. He comes in to try to keep this score at 5-1. Florida goes. Pitch on the way. Foul into the backstop. 0-2. We'll do it again. Florida's getting a lot of wind sprint work out there. And the second baseman's going to come in and talk to Hagen, and Fisher's going to tell him, hey, you might want to take a look at that guy at second. He just flat took off on you. Hagen says, yeah, I know. Okay. Fisher runs back, and Hagen says, hey, I'll pitch. I'll get on the mound and throw. That runner at second means nothing. Uh-oh. Yeah, well, that worked too. Oh, my goodness gracious. They ran a pickoff play that time, and Fisher snuck in, and Flota was, I'm just going to say it like it was, he was out. He reached his hand back into the bag, but the mitt was there, and the Rams catch a break from my view here in the press box. Got to call it like you see him sometimes, and that time there, Flota looked like he was out, but he's at second. 0-2 count to Reeves. Pitch on the way. Curveball backs him off the plate, but it doesn't catch any of the plate. 1-2. Hagan out there has Flota thinking. His lead's a little shorter than last time. Fisher plays with him from second base. Pitch on the way, swing and a foul back as Reeves starts his fouling back and starts having a good at-bat here. Two grinding at-bats here by Williams and Reeves back-to-back in the order, working the pitcher. Very nicely done here by Mount Vernon in this inning. Final score, Centralia beats Mount Vernon in softball 10-3. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a pop-up near the backstop. Catcher won't have room. That goes off the netting, and its count remains 1-2. As Centralia beats Mount Vernon 10-3, the Lady Rams will play tomorrow at Mascoutah in a non-conference game before going to Marion on Friday. Do some tweeting. Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. That'd be a great way for everybody to keep up to date on scores as they come in during the day. 1-2 count to Mr. Reeves, paddling in this at-bat. Pick off at second. Flota will get back 3 steps in. Fisher comes in from second as Hagan has taken heed of the message from Mr. Fisher saying, we got to watch Flota a little closely. As Flota's out there, dirt everywhere on the uniform. He's slid around everywhere out there. Pitch on the way, outside, 2-2. It's a great at-bat here by Reeves. Even better at-bat before by Mr. Williams, even though he struck out. Working on at-bats, not giving up any at-bats in this season as it grinds along. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Flota's on the move to third. Pitch inside, throw to third. Safe. He was going to be out. Flota slid into third, and the third baseman dropped the ball. So now the Rams have a runner 90 feet away. Here as we have in the top of the 6th. Flota is at third. Reeves is at the plate. Reeves started with the count 0-2 and has battled his way back to 3-2. Pitch on the way. Outside ball 4. What an at-bat by Clayton Reeves. He was down 0-2, fouled off 4 pitches, and it was able to work the count to a walk, and that'll bring in Sawyer Harrison, who grounded the second in the second and flew out to right field in the 4th. Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. You can also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. First and third with 2 outs. Pitch on the way as Hagan takes his time. Pitch outside corner for strike 1. Don't forget about the Saturday Sports Show every Saturday morning, 8:08 to 10 a.m. on AM 940 WMIX and WMIXsports.com. It'll be a baseball, softball feature this weekend with 1A, 2A regional championships, and, of course, Rams baseball and softball as well, plus that social media question of the week. First and third for the Rams. 0-1 to count, swing, and a foul back, 0-2. Interesting to see here with an 0-2 count if Coach Holloway might want to try the forced balk play again to see if he can catch Edwardsville off guard. In this case, he caught him. He got an extra run back in the second. That helped tremendously. So there goes Reeves. They're going to step off. They're going to try the forced balk play. Here comes Flota, and Flota's going to try to score, and he's safe. The second time today that the Mount Vernon Rams have scored on the forced balk play. The bonus is Flota comes in to score. Reeves will go in the second as Edwardsville is caught twice today, not being able to execute to stop the run from scoring. And Mount Vernon has 2 of 6 runs today. And now the Rams lead 6-1 as Flota comes in to score and Reeves gets into second base. That's a double bonus as now Harrison at the plate with an 0-2 count with 2 outs. Let's see what Hagen does. I believe it's 0-2. So if I'm wrong, you're wrong, we're all wrong. There goes Reese trying to steal third. Harrison swings and fouls one down the right field line. And again, you look at what this inning was to start with. Floater reaches on a single after one out, steals second, and then Matthew Williams battled enough to allow Floater to steal third. He struck out. Came from an 0-2 count. Reeves battled from an 0-2 count, walked. That set up the first third, which set up the run here in the inning on the forced ball. 0-2 pitch on the way. Reeves is going. That curveball's in there for strike three to end the inning. However, the Rams squeeze out a run on one hit. They strand one. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Mount Vernon 6, Edwardsville 1. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
America is a nation on wheels. Everyone has at least one automobile. We use them for shopping, work, everything we do. But they can be a threat. Some accidents can't be prevented. Your professional Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview and Mount Vernon, can help protect you from a large financial loss when an accident happens. Call Page Insurance today at 242-7000 about low-cost auto insurance from Pekin Insurance. Ask them about the many money-saving discounts that are available. Depend on your hometown professionals.
Pekin Insurance.
I'm Edie Rob with a look at your next red weather this afternoon. Very warm with sunshine and a shower or thunderstorm around, high 86. Mostly cloudy for tonight, low 62. Variable clouds tomorrow with a shower or thunderstorm around, high 80. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, low 58. Friday, a shower or thunderstorm around with the high on Friday, 82. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Listen to us from any device at WMIXsports.com. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Bottom of the sixth we go. Mount Vernon leads Edwardsville 6-1 on the road for the Tigers. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 coming up in the order. As Tommy Weber heads to the pen to warm up, he may be called upon here in the seventh to try to save this one if Tyler Ellis can get through the sixth. He is at the 80-pitch mark as we begin this inning. First pitch on the way, swinging a ground ball to short. Williams backs up 2 steps, throws the first. One pitch, one out as Fisher, for the second time today, has grounded out to shortstop, and that's how the top of the sixth inning begins here at Edwardsville, bottom of the sixth. Rend Lake College offers over 100 degree and certificate programs for thousands less. Log on to rlc.edu to see how you can save thousands. They sponsor the player of the game, which I will pick when this one is over. In steps Tyler Worthy, the right fielder. Worthy has grounded to second and struck out. Now, Coach Funkhauser will come down from the third base box. He's looking around. He's going to make a substitution here. And this pause in the action brought to you by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, Dr. Eric Black at 2339 Broadway. Stop by the locally owned Medicine Shop Pharmacy where customer service is their top priority. Worthy is going to be called back. He is not worthy of this at-bat. Yeah. Okay, it's bad. And that'll bring in number 19, Brock Weimer will step in. So Weimer, W-E-I-M-E-R, pronounced Weimer, will step in, and he will pinch hit for Worthy. And I guess Coach Funkhauser must have knew something because he comes in and immediately hits a single in the left field for the 7th hit of the day. That's why that guy down the third base box for Edwardsville has like 500 wins. He knows things. So Edwardsville has a runner at first with one out. It'll be a pinch runner. And that'll be number 6, Burns, will come in to run at first base. So the Tigers have a runner at first, one out. Weber's warming up in the pen for the Rams. Ellis is over the 80-pitch mark as we head in here in the bottom of the 6th. Jake Gorilla at the plate. He's grounded to third not once but twice this afternoon. Pitch on the way is the ball low and away. Okie dokie. 10-4. Edwardsville leads Mount Vernon across the way as they head to the top of the 7th. Pitch on the way. That's low, 2-0. This one won't be easy. It's a 5-run lead for Mount Vernon, but you get the feeling the Rams are not quite over the hump here yet. Pitch swung on, foul. 2-1 down the third base line. That'll rattle around down by the bullpen. And the runner will have to go back to first. It is a 6-1 lead, but you don't feel comfortable quite yet. Pitch on the way. That's outside and low, 3-1. As the plate starts jumping around a little bit here on Tyler Ellis in this inning. Pitch on the way. Strike 2, count goes full. That's a little better. I would suspect the runner at first might be on the move here in this one. JV game must be over. They see some of the JV Rams come over. It looks like they have lost 10-4. 3-2 pitch on the way is outside for ball 4. So it's first and second and 1 out. Jordan Hovey will come in. He singled and struck out in his 2 at-bats. And Tim Holloway starting to walk around in the dugout. Coach McClure, Coach Fulkerson, as they start putting heads together. Zach Gines is running down to the pen now. Don't know what exactly is going on as Gines goes to the pen. Pitch on the way. That is in the dirt inside, ball 1. Ellis may be running out of some petro here, gas as they call it, as he is over the 85 pitch mark here on a hot, humid day in the 6th, one of the hottest days of the year for baseball. Pitch on the way. 2-0. When you get to this time of year, as Young will go out to the mound and visit, you run into the situation as cold and wet and rainy as it has been most of the spring. And you get into a situation last week and then today as it starts to warm up into the 80s. Pitchers are not used to the environment, used to the heat and humidity this time of year, and it takes them a start or so to accustom themselves to being able to go distances in games. 2-0 pitch on the way, and that pitch is lined in the right field for a base hit. It's a short hit. Pike will come up throwing. The runners will advance 1 base. So the Tigers, for the second straight inning in a row, have the bases loaded and 1 out. And Tyler Ellis is going to have to wriggle off the hook, or is he going to get a chance? Colin Young will go to the mound. Ram infielders are standing around looking at the dugout, looking at the infield, looking at the bullpen. Tim Holloway standing there. Colin Young's acting like he's talking. They're going to make the home plate umpire come out as he looks around. We got a bunch of people standing around looking around. Colin Young will come back to the plate. Tim Holloway is playing the cat and mouse game. Is talking. And here comes Coach Holloway. It was just a matter of time. He's going to make his way out to the mound. So while they sort things, let's wait here because this may be an ask of how are you doing. And just in case it is, we'll go from there. Coach Holloway, nope, it's a pitching change. And with that, we'll take a break and come back, and we'll get all the names and numbers figured out. Let's take a break. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank, asking why you bank with Community First Bank. Is it knowing your deposits are also vital to home loans in Jefferson County and our local economy? Is it having your choice of convenient locations and ATMs? Is it seeing a staff of friendly faces you recognize as your neighbors? These are all reasons enough to count, though you only need one, and we are honored you chose us. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Don't just dream about a better job, go get it with scores of programs that take 2 years, 1 year, or even just a few months to complete. Rend Lake College is your gateway to a career you'll love. From nursing to coal mining, from computer programming to cosmetology, and everything in between. Rend Lake College is affordable, convenient, and ready to get you trained for your new job fast. Call us at 618-437-5321 or visit us at rlc.edu.
Back to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
Tyler Ellis went 5 1/3, gave up 8 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. Walked 2, struck out 5. He threw 91 pitches and can only be the winner in this one as he exits the game and leaves the mess to Thomas Weber, who comes in to get the 4-out save. Actually, yes, the 5-out save, I should say, as the bases are loaded with 1 out. Denny Czerwinski here in Edwardsville. Chris Hugo on assignment. Avery Barton back in the studio in a game that's approaching the 2-hour mark. The Mount Vernon Rams lead Edwardsville 6-1, but for the second straight inning have the bases loaded. The Tigers have left 7 runners on base, have had runners on in every inning stranded except for the 4th, and have bases loaded here. Started out innocently here in the 6th with a ground ball to short on the first pitch. After that, a single, a walk, and another single have loaded the bases for the Tigers, and they are trying to battle back into this one, trailing by a score of 6-1. Mount Vernon scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the 6th. The key about Mount Vernon's 6 runs, 2 of those 6 have been courtesy of the forced balk play, that Edwardsville has been unable to get an out and or get the run. In fact, they only got 1 out of the 2 plays and gave up both runs. Top of the order, Zolanko will step in, struck out twice, grounded to short. If there was ever a time for a ground ball by Mr. Weber, this would be it. And Weber says, Colin Young, I need you to come to the mound for some reason and get the signs taken care of to start with. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. We're putting information up there all the time. You can also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. We know several of you today have followed us on Twitter and liked us on Facebook, and we appreciate that very much. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch on the way from Weber. Strike 1 called on the outside corner. If there was ever a time, a ground ball would be perfect in this spot to get the double play. 0-1 count to Zolanko. Heckler on deck. Curtis with 2 hits as the meat of the order comes up. Swing and a miss by Zolanko. Strike 2 as he was trying to get Edwardsville back to within 1 on a big, mighty swing out of the park. Weber has worked ahead 0-2. He's come to be the closer this season for the Rams. Gets the sign, winds and fires. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Weber gets out number 2. That one was okay. This one will be a little harder. Jordan Heckler is up. 1 for 3 today. Has flown out to center in the first. Grounded back to pitcher in the third and singled in the 5th. And Weber will try to get his way out of this. Pitch on the way. Taken for a ball. 1-0. Weber has taken on the closer's role this year. Had that tough outing at Carbondale with the home run, but since then has shut the door on a lot of teams. Pitch on the way. That's a strike, 1-1. Not easy for a junior to come in to Edwardsville, baseball tradition, baseball history, on their home field, and try to get a save here, and you come in with the bases loaded. 1-1 to count to Heckler. Pitch on the way, swing and a line drive just fouled down the third base line, and Weber is 1 pitch away from shutting the door and getting out of the 6th. And you feel like if he could do this and get the Rams out of the 6th inning, there would be a lot of momentum in that first base dugout down below us across the way. 1-2 is the count. Heckler at the plate, bases loaded. Weber gets his sign, pitch hits him. That will score a run. Worthy will come in, the pinch runner will come in the tag, and now the runners will move up 90 feet. It'll go as an RBI. Weber had Heckler down 0-2 and hit him in the back. What that has done is brought up Drew Curtis. Singled twice, reached on an error. This is not the guy that Weber wanted to mess with, as he is the tying run on the day when the wind is blowing out here at Tom Pyle Field in Edwardsville. So Weber will step to the rubber again. He's going to go out of the stretch. The tying run is at the plate. Weber pauses, gets the sign, brings it home. That is low for ball 1. Nervous times in that first base dugout. You felt so good at 0-2 until you hit the batter. Now you restart. 1-0 count. Weber's pitch on the way, swing and a foul back. 1-1 as Curtis had a good rip at that one. Coach Funkhauser is third. Played on the 90s state title team, Class 2A, 2 classes, here at Edwardsville High School. 500 wins as a head coach at the high school level. That 90 team was pretty good. The 98 team that won it all was darn good. Saw them in high school level and also at Legion. They were They were phenomenal in 98. 1-1 pitch on the way. Swing. No swing. Check swing. Ball 2. Curtis thought about it, but didn't pull the trigger. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Rams lead 6-2 here at Edwardsville. Weber steps off. We'll start again through the signs. Young will drop some signs, and Weber will take him. The junior on the hill. The pitch on the way. Ball 3. Has the mounts and pressure, and Weber wants a new baseball here on this, but it turned out to be a cloudy day. Some more clouds have rolled through. Sun not out as bright as it was to start this game here in Edwardsville, Illinois. 3-1 the count to Curtis. Weber gets his sign, brings it home. Ball 4 in the dirt. He's walked another run in. It's now 6-3 as the runners move up 90 more feet. 6-3 now, and now you have the go-ahead run at home plate. The tying run is now at first base, and that'll bring in Alec Pizzini. He singled and drove in a run in the first, struck out in the third, walked in the fifth. He's kind of been messing around, has had some good swings today at the plate. And Weber right now is taking it from a 6-1 game to a 6-3 game with the bases loaded, a hit pitch and a walk. Pitch on the way outside, 1-0. It's his game right now as there is nobody in the Mount Vernon bullpen to come in. People have come over from the JV game, standing along the rails on the right field side. And in the bleachers, 1-0 count, pitch on the way inside, 2-0. And right now, it's rocking back and forth. The boat is rocking. Hasn't taken on as much water, but it's starting to rock a little bit. Pitch, swing, and a foul back, 2-1, as Pizzini had one in his wheelhouse and swung and missed. As this game is now 2 hours old, we started at, almost 2 hours old. We started at 4:31, so we're about 8 hours short, 8 minutes short. 2-1 the count, pitch on the way high, and tie 3-1. And Weber's in danger of walking in another run. Has done very well this year as the closer, right now in a pickle. 3-1 on the way. The pitch, fly ball in the infield. Trevor Floda will come over. Matthew Williams calls him off. The Rams get out of the inning as Williams makes the catch. However, the Tigers get 2 more runs to cut the lead in half on 2 hits. They strand 3. At the end of 6, it's Mount Vernon 6, Edwardsville 3. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
State Farm, this is Jessica.
Hey, Jessica, Jerry Newman. Does State Farm offer more discounts to more drivers?
Yep, like the good driver discount.
So it's for good, but not great drivers.
No, Jerry. There's also the multi-line discount.
For calling from multiple lines while driving.
You should never use a phone while driving.
I only make calls from my car when I'm stuck in a ditch or something.
Are you in a ditch?
Yes, I am.
State Farm offers more discounts to more drivers than any other insurance company. Get to a better state.
One more reason to call State Farm agent Tony Wilton Mount Vernon at 242-1421.
The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois proudly welcomes Dr. Brian Steinke to their medical staff. Dr. Steinke earned his medical degree at the University of Illinois in Chicago and has degrees in anatomy and physiology from UC Berkeley, and he brings prestigious credentials to the center. Dr. Steinke is a gifted physician and contributor to orthopedic textbooks. Call 618-242-3778 or visit their informative website at orthocenter-si.com.
This is Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX and WMIXsports.com.
Time in the bottom of the 6th, the Rams went in with a 6-1 lead, came out with a 6-3 lead. Eddie Czerwinski here in Edwardsville, one more inning possibly to go, as the Mount Vernon Rams lead the Edwardsville Tigers 6-3. The Tigers have had bases loaded 2 times in the last 2 innings and have miraculously got out by giving up only 2 runs. And since then, have had that uncanny ability to keep the lead. Onto the hill for the Tigers, Matt Rollins, as he comes on to try to keep this game at 5-3, or 6-3, I should say. As Clay's starting to cloud up around here in Edwardsville, but nothing on the radar to speak of. which is good because you don't want any rain to stop this one, as this has been a dandy ball game here between two teams. Number 1 seeds in the respective regionals, Edwardsville, a Class 4A school, Mount Vernon, a Class 3A school, teams with history on the basketball floor as well as baseball fields. And the Rams right now, it's clinging to a 6-3 lead as they will go 9-1-2. Hayden Paninsky, Jake Pike, and Landon Thomas. Paninsky scored in the second after being hit by a pitch and grounded the shorts. That's his 2 at-bats. First pitch on the way from Rollins. It's outside for ball 1. Top of the 7th, Rams lead 6-3. They scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the 6th for their run. That pitch in there for a strike, 1-1. The 2 of the 6 runs have come via the forced balk play, as Edwardsville has only been able to get an out 1 out of 2 times, and neither time been able to cut down the run. 1-1 pitch on the way is in there for a strike, 1-2. Wind's still blowing out here. The lights are on as we start the top of the 7th. Pitch on the way. That bounces in the dirt off the mask of the umpire, and count goes to 2-2. No action in the Rams pen or the Edwardsville pen, so pitchers that will be coming out. Rollins now, and of course Weber in the bottom of the 7th will be the guys throwing. 2-2 pitch on the way, outside, and count goes to full. Rams would like to get another runner or 2, especially get up by 4, make them load the bases. Pitch on the way, swung, ground ball to short. Heckler up with it. Will ease the first. 6-3 to start the top of the 7th. Stay tuned for the Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. I'll give you scoring and stats. And then, of course, I'll pick the Renly College player of the game when this one is over as well, as this game nods toward the bottom of the 6 o'clock hour. On a 2-hour mark, that'll bring in Jake Pike. Singled, stole a base, and scored in the first. Hit by a pitch and scored in the second. Ground to the third and the 5th. Takes strike 1 here on the fastball right down the middle. Chatter from the first base dugout. Pitch on the way. Swung and fouled down to Coach McClure, who waves at it like a bullfighter. Doesn't touch it. He, being with golf hands this close to summer, probably didn't want to take a chance. Count goes to 0-2 on the left-hand hitting Pike. The right-hand throwing Rollins on the bump. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The Rams, as you look back through the book, had 1 hit in the 6th, and after that didn't have another hit until the 3rd. So they've went sporadically through the lineup, and in fact, since the 2nd inning, as I look back, both Ram hits have been by Trevor Floda. It's only 2 hits since the 3rd, and both of those by Floda, as Thomas steps in and takes strike 1. Thomas today scored, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first, and then singled in the second, flied to center in the 5th. Here comes a pitch on the way, swing, and a ball out in the center field that will drop for a base hit. That'll be the 6th hit of the day for the Rams, as Thomas will reach first base, and that's something he needed to get something going. The Tony Wells scoreboard update continues. Compton beats Steelville in baseball today 4-1. As we go along, it's a busy time, and that'll bring in Colin Young. Drobin and Arp has a run driven in today, but it is 0 of 3 at the plate, or actually 0 of 3. Thomas takes a big lead at first. Pitch on the way to Young is low, ball 1. Rams would like an insurance run or 2 here, heading to the bottom of the 7th. It'll be for the Tigers, 5, 6, 7. Pitch in, ball 2 outside. 5, 6, and 7 coming up for the Tigers. Between them, those 3 guys have 2 hits and scored a run. Not much else after that, even with the pinch hitter as well, if you're looking ahead that far. Thomas steals from first, line drive over the short, picked off the ground by the shortstop for the final out of the inning on the delayed call by the umpire. The Rams don't score, get a hit, strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Rams need 3 outs to get a win. It's Mount Vernon 6, Edwardsville 3. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
What is good sports talk, really? Around these parts, it's the WMIX Saturday Sports Show. Every Saturday morning after the 8 o'clock news. With a vast assortment of interviews and knowledgeable in-studio discussion. It's the most content-driven local sports show on the radio dial. And it's every Saturday morning after the 8 o'clock news. Only on AM 940 and WMIXSports.com. Where you can listen on your computer, smartphone, or any device. It's all made possible by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be.
Backaches, bad hips, rickety knees? Why not try aquatic therapy? The Red Lake College Aquatic Center has more than a swimming pool. Try a 6-lane, 75-foot lap pool, along with a whirlpool 10 feet in diameter and a 10-foot by 20 hydrotherapy pool. Aquatic therapy is very affordable. In many cases, the tuition is waived entirely. With special access and dressing areas for the elderly and physically challenged, getting in the water is easy. Experts are on hand to assist with various areas of aquatic fitness and rehab. Call 437-5321 extension 1207 or visit rlc.edu.
Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
Back to a nail-biter. Bottom of the seventh we go. The Rams on the road with a lead at Edwardsville 6-3. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for the Tigers. Opening pitch to the bottom of the seventh to Myers goes low 1-0. Myers 1 of 3 today with a single. Grounded to short and full has flown out the center in his other at-bat. Weber with a quick 2-0 count now as he's fallen behind. Came in the seventh, gave up a couple of runs. Comes in here with nobody on, and now goes to a 3-0 count on the leadoff hitter. Trouble brewing here for Weber as he falls behind and throws strike one. And he's Czerwinski here in Edwardsville. Avery Barton back in the studios. Chris Hugo on assignment. The 3-0 pitch on the way, swung and fouled off. Thank you for swinging at that one. 3-2. Mount Vernon looking for their 25th win of the season to go with 7 losses and a tie. Heading into their doubleheader on Saturday. Pitch on the way. Pop up out in the right field. Jake Pike circles around underneath it. Squeezes it. One out here in the bottom of the seventh. 25 and 7 is 32, plus 1 is 33, and 2 more on Saturday would make 35. The Rams would get their limit of games in. Rarely happens in the spring for the second year in a row, 35 regular season games for the Rams. Pitch on the way to Fisher, who was grounded to short twice and struck out, takes strike one on the outside corner as Weber gets a little lather worked up here. 0-1 pitch on the way. Strike two call. Let me look down below and see what everybody's doing, if everybody's watching. Not seeing anybody. That pitch up high, 1-2. No, there they are. Checking things out, making sure all the parents are watching. Pitch and a swung swung. There you go. Pitch and a swing and a foul back, 1-2. Nervous times when you come in as a closer. You're never coming into an easy situation, either with runners on, game tied, your team's ahead. You're never in a situation to come in and go, I can just mess around. It is more than likely a time where you're going to be nervous. Edwardsville with a record of 25 and 8. Now Vernon trying to get that 25th win. Weber's pitch that time low. Count goes to 2-2. Would be a nice victory to have if Mount Vernon can pull it off. Pitch on the way, popped up on the infield, floated back in the outfield grass under it, squeezes. And that's out number 2, and the Rams are 1 out away from what would be an outstanding victory here this afternoon on the road against 4A Edwardsville. Some of the Ram fans below us getting excited. JV team is done. They lost 10-4. They're sitting to my right in the bleachers in this outstanding facility as batting is number 8 checking in, another pinch hitter. He takes strike one. Weber can quickly in a roll. And he goes 1-1. Mount Vernon 1 out away from getting that 25th win of the year. 1-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike two. He'll get one more. That's 1 strike away for the Rams. Weber quickly pitches, fires, confidence, low, 2-2. Weber kind of feels in this at-bat, I think he has an advantage. Going to look to take care of things. 2-2 pitch on the way, outside, full. Weber looking for a 5-out save. Came in with the bases loaded and a 6-1 lead. So that counts as a save situation. 3-2 pitch on the way from the junior. Low ball 4, walk. The game will continue on, and Gorella will come up. His fourth at-bat, grounded to the third twice, walked and scored. So he's not been able to hit much here in this inning. Runner at first, 2 outs. It's a 6-3 game. The tying run is on deck for Edwardsville as Weber will go out of the stretch. Looks to first, comes home with the pitch. In the dirt low, Colin Young stops it, ball 1. We learned last night at the banquet that Colin Young has only allowed 3 pass balls in the last 2 years. It's not a bad backstop to have back there when you have that going on. 1-0 pitch on the way. Bounces in the dirt. Another stop by Colin Young. The jinx does not work. Baseball today, kind of a shocker. Murfreesboro beat Anna Jonesboro 5-4. Colin Young's going to stalk out and talk to Weber. Weber got those 2 outs, and it seemed like in the last batter and now this one, he's a little quick with his rhythm. It's okay to work fast, but sometimes you work yourself out of a rhythm by working too quickly, and I think that's what Thomas Weber has done here, as Colin Young went out there and said, hey, slow her down just a bit. 2-0, the count pitch on the way. That's outside 3-0. And what started out so calm and quietly has turned into a 3-0 count with a runner at first. 6-3, Mount Vernon on top here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch on the way. That's a strike. Batter flinched. He thought he was going to first. Umpire said, hold on there, young man. You can come back here and we'll do it another time. 3-1 is the count. Weber out of the stretch. The pitch on the way. Ball 4 low, and it's first and second. Tying run now comes to the plate, and Jordan Hovey. Hovey runs up there. Well, he didn't run. If he gets up there quickly, he is 2 of 3 today, a couple of singles and a strikeout. The left-hand hitter. Weber will walk back behind the mound. Tim Holloway's going to walk into the pitching mound. Now, something's going to change. Hayden Paninsky's walking with a glove. He's going to hand it to Landon Thomas. So Landon Thomas will come in. I think Landon's going to come in and try to get the save as he's going to try to shut down. Here. While they do the pitching change, let's take a break and come back, and we'll get all the assorted names, places, and people everywhere. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Southern Illinois now has a better home for sports. It's the all-new WMIXSports.com. Jam-packed with local scores, video highlights, and archives of every local sports broadcast on WMIX. Did your team win? Missed that game-winning shot last night? Didn't catch your favorite coach on the Saturday Sports Show? WMIXSports.com is right at your fingertips. On your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, or your video game console. It's the all-new WMIXSports.com. Another free service from Withers Broadcasting.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins. You did it. It's graduation day, and you've got that feeling beyond compare. From kindergarten to graduation, your day-to-day efforts have been your first long-term investment. Community First Bank extends congratulations along with a promise. In the coming year, we will increase our community scholarship dollars to encourage graduation goals across Jefferson County and further invest in our community. Like us on Facebook to learn more. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Back to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
This break in the game brought to you by Medicine Shop. Dr. Eric Black at 2339 Broadway. Stop by the locally owned Medicine Shop Pharmacy where customer service is their top priority. Thomas Weber out of the game. Landon Thomas, who did not warm up between innings, is coming in to pitch. He'll come in from center field to the mound. Weber is out. Paninsky will come in and go to left, and Reeves will go to center. So what has happened is, what I'm looking at, the DH is gone now, as Paninsky will go to left field, Reeves will go to center, and Thomas will come in to pitch. So the DH is now completely gone. So Thomas is in the pitch. The lefty will come into the pitch to the left-handed hitting Jordan Hovey, who will remain in to hit as Tim Holloway going with the lefty senior, Ram of the Year from the banquet last night by the Mount Vernon Baseball Booster Club. and he is in a tight situation. The Rams had a 6-1 lead heading into the 6th inning, bottom of the 6th. 2 runs were walked in, one on a hit pitch, one walked in at 6-3 the bases loaded. They have 2 quick outs in this inning and back-to-back walks. And Landon Thomas has been called upon in the lefty versus lefty matchup here to try to get the final out of the game. Thomas out of the stretch will take the sign. Looks the runner at second, no lead there, very little. Pitch on the way is in there for a strike. The Rams looking for win number 25, and as I said, back in the 6th, even the 5th, it wouldn't come too easy, and it hasn't here. The Tigers are scratching their way in the back end of this one. 0-1 pitch, Thomas on the way. That's outside, 1-1. A Tigers team steeped in tradition, 25 wins themselves. Thomas leads over and takes the sign out of the stretch, looks at both runners, so varies his stretch, and now comes into the plate. And that ball's in the dirt, and it's 2-1. Tyler Ellis looking to become the winning pitcher, but the tying run is at home plate with a count of 2-1. Short lead by the runners at first and second. Pitch on the way from Thomas. Swing, check swing, miss. Strike 2. Second time this inning, the Tigers are down to their last out. Here's some clapping below us. We sit here in the press box. Thomas gets the sign, looks at second, looks back, looks again. Now we'll come home. Pitch, swing, and a miss, strike 3, and the Mount Vernon Rams have earned win number 25 on the season, defeating the Edwardsville Tigers here in Edwardsville by a score of 6-3. Let's take a break and come back. We'll come back for the Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank, asking why you bank with Community First Bank. Is it knowing your deposits are also vital to home loans in Jefferson County and our local economy? Is it having your choice of convenient locations and ATMs? Is it seeing a staff of friendly faces you recognize as your neighbors? These are all reasons enough to count, though you only need one, and we are honored you chose us. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Allow me to introduce the all-new 2013 Lincoln MKZ. Hi, Roy Schmidt Lincoln dealer at Ford Square, Mount Vernon. We are excited about the refreshingly new 2013 Lincoln MKZ and are confident that we have a bigger selection than anyone else in Southern Illinois. The new MKZ is the future of Lincoln design born today. With elegant fluid lines, every surface is faceted like the many dimensions of discovery. Those who seek new experiences will also delight in the many twists and turns of its athletic stance. Inside the MKZ, you'll find genuine wood trim with power windows that boast global open technology and premium leather-trimmed interior. See our great selection of the all-new 2013 Lincoln MKZ online at FordSquare.com or see one of our associates at Ford Square, Mount Vernon, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, and find us on Facebook.
When you hear the warm, inviting sound of a crackling fire, what comes to mind? A rustic campground? A cozy cabin? How about the new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center? Our new family lounges feature a lot of comforts you might not expect. Things like this. No, that's not a babbling brook or serene stream out in the countryside. It's a 2-story waterfall located right here at Good Samaritan. And that's not the only way we're raising the bar for patient comfort. We've added lush healing gardens, as well as wall after wall of beautiful artwork, all designed to create the perfect healing atmosphere. And if all this sounds like music to your ears, we encourage you to check us out. Chances are, we're not too far from where you are right now.
The new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital,
raising the bar.
Southern Illinois now has a better home for sports. It's the all-new WMIXSports.com. Jam-packed with local scores, video highlights, and archives of every local sports broadcast on WMIX. Did your team win? Missed that game-winning shot last night? Didn't catch your favorite coach on the Saturday Sports Show? WMIXSports.com is right at your fingertips. On your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, or your video game console. It's the all-new WMIXSports.com. Another free service from Withers Broadcasting. This is Mount Vernon Rams baseball on WMIX. The Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show starts now.
Schmidt Chevrolet, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon. You can go to SchmidtChevrolet.com as well. Denny Czerwinski back in Edwardsville as the Mount Vernon Rams pick up their 25th win of the season with a 6-3 win over the Edwardsville Tigers. The Rams will finish their season on Saturday in a doubleheader at home against Highland. Of course, you can listen to both those games here on WMIX. The stats and scoring of this one are as follows. The Rams, 6 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors on the day. The Tigers, 3 runs, 8 hits. Actually, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors on the day for the Tigers. Tyler Ellis gets the win for the Rams. Zach Sparks picks up the loss for the Tigers, and Landon Thomas comes in to get the save. In a game that took 2 hours and 12 minutes as the Mount Vernon Rams defeat the Edwardsville Tigers on the road by a final score of 6-3. We'll take one more break, come back. I'll pick the Rend Lake College player of the game. You're listening to Rams Baseball on WMIX.
I'm meteorologist Dave Bowers. We'll look at your next rad weather. A partly to mostly cloudy sky tonight, although 64. The outlook for tomorrow, clouds and some sun. Will be a shower and thunderstorm in the area into the evening with a high of 80. Later tomorrow night, variable cloudiness, a low 62. And then on Friday, clouds, breaks of sun, a shower or thunderstorm around with a high temperature of 82. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Your future is calling. With a GED test and some help from Rend Lake College, you can answer the call. The current test expires at the end of 2013, and your scores will expire too if you don't finish and pass the test by then. Don't feel prepared? Don't worry, we can help. Visit finishtheged.com to learn more. Don't miss the chance to turn one small step into your next big opportunity, like college, a better job, and the respect you deserve. Finish your GED by the end of 2013. Questions? Call Rend Lake College's Adult Education and Literacy Department today at 437-5321.
Find us on Facebook under WMIX Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
Win number 25 for the Rams comes on the road at Edwardsville this afternoon as the Rams win 6-3 over the host Tigers. It's time to pick the Rend Lake College player of the game. At Rend Lake College, you can get a quality education, save thousands. Log on to rlc.edu, so which program is right for you. A lot of veritable candidates available for the player of the game here in Edwardsville, but the one guy that stands out to me that gave the Rams 5 3rd innings of great pitching on the mound, gave up 1 run that wasn't earned, struck out 5 and walked 2. I'm going to go with Tyler Ellis. He picks up the win here this afternoon in this contest at Edwardsville. So Tyler Ellis is your Rend Lake College player of the game. Our next broadcast will be Friday evening, weather permitting and grounds permitting, of course, as the Mount Vernon Lady Rams travel to Salem to take on the Lady Wildcats in a non-conference game. Pre-game will be at 4:15 and the first pitch at 4:30 right here on WMIX. Of course, the Saturday Sports Show on Saturday morning from 8:08 a.m. to 10 a.m. on AM 940 and WMIXSports.com. It will be a softball-baseball bonanza with 1A, 2A regional championships. We'll talk with Tim Holloway, of course, head coach of the Rams, about this big win, and, of course, Lance Bolt of the Lady Rams softball team and some other area coaches in that social media question of the week as well. And then Saturday morning at 10:45, pregame for the Rams doubleheader with Highland as the Rams close out the regular season for the second straight year, getting 35 games in on the regular season schedule. After that, it's postseason next week, Tuesday at Heron for softball at 4:15 for the pregame, and then Wednesday at Heron for baseball at 4:15 for regional play for the Lady Rams and Rams in the Class 3A regionals at Heron. You can follow the broadcast schedule on WMIXSports.com. Later on tonight, a complete scoreboard of games from around Southern Illinois will be posted there at WMIXSports.com. We need to wrap it up from Edwardsville. For Avery Barton back at the studio, I'm Denny Czerwinski. Final score this afternoon, Mount Vernon 6, Edwardsville 3. Thank you for listening, and a very pleasant good evening, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX and online at WMIXsports.com. Rams Baseball has been presented by the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams, Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. The Mount Vernon Rams on WMIX are also sponsored in part by Ren Lake College. See how you can save thousands on your education at rlc.edu. The Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon, Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a Hospital. Raising the Bar. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. And also by the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. Sarah Staley, your country financial agent. Heartland Accounting. And by Central Christian Church. Your home for news, talk, sports, and America's best music. WMIX. Find archived broadcasts of Rams baseball at WMIXsports.com.